Este episodio está patrocinado por nuestros compas de CasaHumilde Cerveceria. Cerveza artesanal, elaborada aquí en Chicago, with a variety of 10 different styles to choose from. CasaHumilde is located at the District Brew Yards, 417 North Ashland in Chicago. Follow them on IG and like them on Facebook at CasaHumilde Cerveceria. To check availability near you, go to www.casahumildechicago.com and check out the store locator. You could also pick up some chelas at the District Brew Yards. CasaHumilde Cerveceria. Stay humilde. Este episodio está patrocinado por Tequila Tres Generaciones. At Tres Generaciones, we honor those driven to create something greater than themselves, those who have what it takes to leave a legacy. It's a tequila for the strivers, the hustlers, the champions of free will who create their destiny and don't await it. El proceso es único. It begins with fresh pressing agave, extrayendo el jugo antes que lo cocinen, resulting in reduced bitterness and a crisp agave-forward flavor. Todo el tequila is triple distilled, using 100% Blue Weber agaves. Con el tequila blanco, con el tequila reposado, it's certified organic. Aquí en el GuacPod, cuando hacemos un brindis, it has to be Tequila Tres Generaciones. Celebrate responsibly. 40% alcohol by volume. Copyright 2021 Sausa Tequila Import Company, Chicago, Illinois. This GuacPod episode is brought to you by Borjas Law Group. El abogado Borjas contestará todas tus preguntas, explicará el proceso específico de inmigración que aplica en su caso, el tiempo que se toma procesar su caso y los costos asociados con las tarifas de inmigración y los honorarios legales. Llama al 312-788-2783 para programar tu cita. Y ahí de pasada, menciona el GuacPod para que te den tu consulta gratis.
This episode is brought to you by Rancho Los Guzman. Hands down, one of the most beautiful rancho-style venues there is in the Chicagoland area. They offer all the necessary services so that your next event is unforgettable. From weddings, quinceañeras, VIP private events, and holiday corporate events. Relax and enjoy while they take care of every single detail. Book your next event at Rancho Los Guzman, 2225 Maple Road in Joliet. For more information, call 815-200-4713. Or check out their website at rancholosguzman.com. Cambiar es fácil. De hecho, lo hacemos todo el tiempo. Cambiamos de inglés a español y viceversa. Cambiamos de planes, de canal de televisión, incluso a veces cambiamos de pareja cuando bailamos. Cambiar es bueno. Y más ahora con todo lo que puedes ahorrar cambiándote a State Farm. Gessiel Gutierrez es agente de State Farm y está aquí al norte de Chicago, en Albany Park, para ayudarte a cambiar y a que empieces a ahorrar hoy. Gessiel y su equipo están listos para darte la bienvenida a State Farm. Con Gessiel Gutierrez es muy fácil cambiar y ahorrar. Marca su número hoy. Como un buen vecino, State Farm está ahí. La Curva Picosa, a handcrafted miche mix with fresh vegan ingredients. Ready to stir into your favorite cerveza or mixed drink. You can also add it to your tequila and enjoy it palomazo. Try their delicious chamoy rim dip as well. Prueba la frescura. This episode is brought to you by Goodfellas Parlor, located at 5939 West 35th Street in Cicero. They are open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. To book your appointment, you can call 630-562-6652. Go check them out on Facebook at Goodfellas Parlor and follow them on Instagram at Goodfellas Parlor _EST.2017. Make sure you look good, fellas. This episode is brought to you by Taquerías Atotonilco, con más de 40 años de experiencia, hoy por hoy de los mejores tacos al pastor en todo Chicago y suburbios. Al igual con los tacos de asada, ni más ni menos. Sus famosas tortas y para terminar con ganas, un rico licuado. Les encargamos sus 3 locales, 3916 al oeste de la 26 en Chicago, 500 East Cass Street en Joliet y 1631 al norte de la Manheim Road en Stone Park. Para más información, visite www.taqueriasatotonilco.com.
We never made $1 single more than our regular paycheck.
Holy shit.
They didn't pay us money. They kept everything.
And
we put in all the fucking... It's not like... Ahorita, ya ves que mucha gente consigue músicos para grabar esa música. De perdido mínimo, nosotros llegamos y grabamos todo. Ahorita ya ves que nomás llega el vocalista para grabar la voz, pero ya la música ya cuando ya está para él. Y porque ya se lo grabaron nosotros músicos de studio musicians, right? That's what we call them. Pero, you know, we did all that fucking work, and we never got one fucking cent of regalías of any of the CDs we recorded.
You get your checks for your as an arranger. I would get checks periodically por los arreglos. But that's one thing, just flipping it, I'm proud of. Que para la gente que nos sigue, bien o mal, lo que han escuchado de Mazizo Musical siempre ha sido Mazizo Musical. Nunca hemos rentado músicos o pedido. Aunque se escuche feo para unos, bueno o malo, pero todo lo que han escuchado desde el primer disco hasta el día de hoy, that's us.
Yeah, you guys are the producers to the sound.
That's us, man.
Yeah, and we know it because I was being in the business. We know, these guys are recording CD, but we know that the guy over there from that place or that keyboardist from the other group is recording the songs for them or giving them arreglos. Everything that we did came from us, 100%. Nothing else.
That and royalty parts. Obviously, if you want to do a production and you got a better musician, why not? Obviously, that's production-wise when you the final product.
Right.
But talking in our situation of regalías, of all that kind of stuff, all the work you put in, that was never appreciated or never given any extra for that effort.
Yeah, it was never paid.
Nothing.
And we've evolved. Going backtracking a little bit, like we talked about del primer disco cuando lo hicimos. We were barely trying to figure out the sound of Duranguense too, because we came from Tecnobanda. That was our strength. Sacando algo Duranguense, we were just trying to figure it out. We winged it, and we've evolved with time. If you look at the way it's progressed, even sometimes I look back at certain songs and I be like, shit, that sounds like shit, man. I don't even like some of it. I mean, I critique myself in that way, that the way it was arranged or the way it was mixed. But that's the way it was back then. That's the way people even wanted to hear it. So even the mixing was on purpose.
Yeah.
The way some of those arreglos were, or the typical pam 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 pam. Right. Yeah. Right.
Like I say, maybe too simple for us at the moment. And we always try to do extra, which at the same time realizing that people didn't need it.
Yeah.
But that bum 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 was getting people crazy. Like, oh hey, fuck
they got him going.
And to recently the same thing. Obviously you catch on and then you realize it. Like say, obviously you want to, but man, the guy who's gonna consume it doesn't understand. Just think.
Yeah.
That's all they need. Make sure the lyrics are decent. Then you're good.
En el radio un cochinero.
The table and shit.
Right. How do you guys feel? You guys are in social media ahorita. Están metidos al Facebook, al TikTok.
That was actually one thing I wanted to bring up because I follow you guys on TikTok and you guys are like really heavy on TikTok. I'm like, it's cool that you guys are embracing that something new that is TikTok.
That was actually a turning point. Funny the timing, the social media. En la industria que andamos se requiere.
Se necesita.
Yeah.
Pero la verdad, para la gente que nos conoce un poquito, siempre hemos sido más privados con nuestra vida. Y yo sé que se requiere for promotion, para promocionar la agrupación, pero we've always had a mentality that whoever shows up to our gigs, they deserve that. Like, that's ours and theirs, nobody else's. When we go to, that's the way it was before. When you're a kid or como cuando uno iba a México por primera vez o acá, man, va a venir Intocable. I repeat, the dream, the magic.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to know nothing else. I want to wait for this day to come see you and be a part of that moment. And now with everything on your phone, like most people have said, even I think Dr. Dre, like, that's gone now. You see everything about me every second. What else can I tell you? Michael Jordan said this. How many times can I tell you my story if you've heard my story a million times over? The magic is lost.
The reason why I asked, porque there was like a music video, you guys, and it was I think you guys, it was a car wash guy. They were washing the white Escalade or something like that.
Quiero ser.
Okay, all right. So was that your Escalade?
That was another one. I think that was a prop, but it looked like it.
No. Pero se topan con esas when you guys look at those videos, because when I look at those videos, like, god damn, like evolving from that point, from that instant to now, it's like, holy shit, like
it's like a 180, right?
Yeah. Like, how do you guys feel about that, though? Like,
well, the fact that everybody fucking judges me when I was fucking 17 years old, and now they look at me like,
do that, right? Ya no se ve igual. Well, duh.
Dumb motherfucker. Do you look the fucking same when you were 17? Now you're fucking.
Hell yeah.
And like, but I get it.
Nomás de cala cuando dice que está medio cachetón ahora.
They're like, they always ask, is that the same singer?
Yeah. Like, dude, I was 17 fucking years old. I'm like, you don't expect me to age? Like, no, que piensan que voy a estar de joven toda mi vida. Ustedes también y tal de igual de jóvenes. Y a mí y porque a mí me toca, ¿verdad? La chinga, porque a mí me vienen y dicen, es el mismo vocalista. Oye, ¿por qué cambió? Puta, tenía 17 años cuando te pinche grabé ese video. Y ahorita ya, come on, man. ¿Qué pasa?
That's fucking funny, man.
And even,
That's funny
like
and
even,
that's crazy, right?
And you're mentioning the videos, the same. Even in the video parts, when we get the guys that do the videos, a lot of times we're the ones giving the ideas and all that. Most of the guys just put the cameras.
Right.
Yeah.
For the, and it shouldn't be like that because they're supposed to be like the ones that know this will look good here, this or that. Even I think the Platicando a Solas video where we have all the cars.
Yeah.
We had to come up with the cars last minute. We showed up to the spot. He didn't. Hey, what do you guys want to do? I don't have nothing.
That's another thing. The videos, I repeat, nuestros fans, everything you see from music to wardrobe to the videos to the ideas, we put that out. We put that out. We're very detailed. We're very detailed, good or bad in our own way. We don't just, like I said, hey, there's a tree right there, just play right there, like typical, y hay que tocar.
I totally agree.
Not trying to criticize, but I'm saying
I totally agree.
maybe they just allow that, but we demand a little bit more.
Like, hey, you know somebody with a big house, bro?
Pretty much.
We try to pack it a little story at least. We try to give you a little something in what we've created.
Yeah, but even then, like I say, sometimes you got to do. Unfortunately, you sometimes maybe have to do both
roles.
The thing that satisfies you, like put in the effort, but then also the simple stuff. Throw something in there for the people that it'll consume it easier. Like, all right, let's just give them. Like I told a lot, even the TikToks, the songs. Hey, just do it like this. Don't do nothing extra. Don't do this, and that's what's been working.
Yeah.
Just keep it simple. Just do a little piece, blah, blah, throw it up.
Yeah.
Cool
We ain't gotta do no production, no none of this stuff. Then you here, him here, sing the piece, throw it up.
Ahí está.
And going back to that's a conversation that we had. Like I said, we don't like doing all that. We like giving you when it's time to perform that, and you paid your ticket. We'll throw down for you right there.
Only if you paid your ticket, okay?
Yeah, only if you paid your ticket. Yeah. The truth is, and we battled with that because we feel like all that and giving you music. Ya ves cuando toquenos en vivo, hagan Facebook Live. But well, what the hell?
You're like,
I ain't getting nothing.
This is what I charge you for to go see me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it right now for free for you. It's like it's an issue. You're like, wait, we shouldn't throw out our whole thing right here for like almost for nothing.
Honestly,
you know?
that's kind of like Jesse's got that mentality too. Like,
I
al
got
Chile, not in a bad way.
Yeah.
O sea, he's like, well, why am I gonna sell my USB mixes, and then they're not gonna fucking hire me? O sea,
Ya para qué chingados, si es lo que vas a tocar, ¿verdad?
exactly. O sea,
¿Para qué?
because he was asking about the live band, like the live albums que hacen los grupos, and he's like, hey, is that kind of weird because, why are they doing so many or something like that, right?
I think in the DJ world, it's a little bit different. Porque un grupo, when you do a live, like, you go on Facebook Live, and of course, not to talk shit about the groups, but like, yeah, you're going to do the same set at that nightclub este fin de semana. Van a tocar las mismas canciones. And I get it. Like, you got your fans that will listen to you 80 veces repetitivos, like, and that's not a bad thing. That's good. That's your fan base. Pero como un DJ, yo creo que, ¿por qué te voy a dar unos mixes? Porque mucha gente me dice, hey, güey, nomás dame un USB de tus mixes. Dame como 5 mixes. ¿Para qué? Es que tengo una quinceañera este fin de semana.
Contrátame por las 5 horas mejor.
Tú quieres que te dé gratis lo que
es
te tienes que cobrar.
Es que eres bien caro, bro. Y I'm like, pero el tiempo que hice esos mixes, ese es mi tiempo.
Es el trabajo.
Hey, pet peeve. Adding to that, hey, ¿de dónde eres tú? Pero ustedes son de Chicago, ¿no? Sí, mi fiesta va a ser aquí en la Cícero, están como a 15 minutos, o no deberías cobrarme nomás
I'm
X cantidad.
You're from here.
They base things on like, you're only 3.5 miles away, so that's like...
Chécate
like,
eso, hice un mix para una persona. Hey, do me a mix, yeah? All right, hey, and then ya le di el producto. Y dice, hey, ¿cuánto es? And I'm like, why? Like, it's tanto. He's like, pero, ¿a cuánto te pagan la hora in your regular job? Oh, well, I get paid $25 an hour. How long did it make you to take this mix? I'm like, maybe about 2. He's like, here's $50. Like, no, it doesn't work like that.
Doesn't work that way.
And then he's like, this is my time, effort, and my music. Oh, no, pero you just said you get paid $25 an hour. I'm like, no. Yeah. That's my regular job.
Usually everybody who does that is somebody that not everybody has a business or started a business, because anybody who has a little bit of a business and anything doesn't do that kind of stuff. Doesn't lowball you. Yeah. Or even if they do, they figure out a different way to negotiate.
Yep.
But not, como dicen, menospreciando your work. Because, hey, I already know what you do. I know what things cost. So when you tell me, hey, this is my price, I'll call you back. It's not like, come on, dude, wait. When the moment you start doing that, you already know that's a bad person to do.
Y nos ha llegado un cliente cuando le dice, ¿sabes qué? Esta persona me está cobrando tanto. Well, go get that guy. He's like, but I want Jesse for this price.
Yeah, well, Jesse costs this much.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, like you say, with Mazizo when he gets the calls. Hey, but that band over there is charging me this much. Then hire them. You would think that would be the choice, right?
Yeah.
But you're calling me, and this is my price. So if you want this band, that's what you gotta pay.
I bluntly said, like, hey, agárrenlos. Ese pinche precio está bueno. No los dejes ir porque se van a buquear, güey. Hell yeah. Hey, we'll figure it out. Pero agárrenlos a esos, güey.
¿Qué es lo que pasa? Que los contratan a ellos, les cancelan el día antes, and then it's like, oh, I want to book you already. Like,
too late now. Now it's going to cost you extra because last minute.
So we're going to keep moving forward para seguirle. The whole Pedro thing goes down. You have the meeting. They don't agree. So you guys just get out.
Yeah, so we come back. This is the funny part. This is where this is where all the chisme that's always gone on Facebook and before Facebook. What was it called before? MySpace and all that began. So when we get back, once they saw that we were kind of frustrated with everything, what we didn't know, I guess they must have already made a heads-up call, and they already started finding other musicians.
Oh, shit. For the group.
Yeah. I guess, so when we got back, and we were going to see if they agreed or not, I guess they were just trying to buy themselves a little bit of time. They were holding practices behind our backs with the other band members preparing. So to just fast forward the story, one fateful night, we found out that in a flyer somewhere here in Elkhart, Indiana, they were going to have an event that said Mazizo, when we already had said postpone every show until we reach an agreement. How the hell are they announcing an event?
You're right.
Well, we found out that they already had formed a band behind our back.
At this point, they still had the rights to your name?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why they were you know.
Yeah, that's why they just found replacement musicians,
Yeah,
obviously, for us three of us, because they already somehow, obviously, the other guys already went and followed, say they decided we're staying over here.
Which hurt because we're brothers, and what we could have done, just to also be clear, another point, very important, we began Mazizo and we're brothers. If we wanted to, even from the day we signed the first initial contract, we could have said, for example, well, we want this amount and give our employees this amount. Because they're the members, we're the company.
We're the company.
We're the company.
Yeah.
And we're like that TV show Friends. I've always liked that. Like, hey, we're all equal. We're gonna, and that's always been our mentality. We're gonna win the same, and we're gonna rise the same. And it's never changed with whoever's been in this band. It's gonna be the way it looks as a team, as a whole. Yeah. We don't screw nobody over. It is what it is. But that was our mentality back then. We're a team. Let's fight together. But I repeat, by then we saw that they folded and they didn't have our backs. So
this is after them saying that they did have your back. So
yeah, that they were also frustrated and pissed that we deserve, and man, we should. But
to us in our face, we're down with you.
And
guys.
then they fucking were part of the new team.
Yeah, because
so you guys find out.
That's the slap in the face that if they're watching that you guys were holding behind our backs practices,
right,
and looking at us in the face still. Chilling in our house, since we had houses in Mexico and all that, you were conviviendo con nosotros, knowing that you had a backup plan. Like,
what about to stab us in the back?
That's tough, man.
So we get over here, we see the promotion, we find out, we call each other. You know what? We're gonna go. We kind of knew our routine. We actually took a gamble. All right. Usually when we play this distance, we usually leave around 10, 11 at night or exit. We took a gamble. We drove over there to Chewy's house, We waited for them at an X amount of time, and right on cue. It's like we timed it perfect. They all started showing up.
Damn.
Ready to pack, obviously
Load up and shit.
load up, and we knock on his door. We're like, motherfucker, like, hey,
Shit.
you think we don't know what y'all just did? The point is, we were ready to, fight. I wanted to whoop their ass, to be honest. If we're talking what it is, I was ready to, man. I just needed a reason to hurt them all. That's how, like, this is my band. This is what I started.
Yeah.
That's how I felt in that moment. Like, you disrespectful. Because you're getting flashbacks. You're getting flashbacks of the sacrifice that it took. Because remember, it's already 6 years in, from 2003, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Only you lived, even though, we're in 2008 when the fight began. Then we got to when we came back over here after those. Well, all right, 2010. The point is, you're thinking about the sacrifice, and you're thinking about everything that you fought for and worked for, and these guys just took it upon themselves, not even to have the balls to look you in the face and say, pues bueno, mira, si ustedes no quieren ser parte de esto, aunque nos están tal vez chingando, no, queremos continuar, o cada quien, but just be a man. They prepared it, they backstabbed you, and that was like a slap in the face, man. Only because it was Chewy's house, and I know he had his family there, man, I wanted to kick the door down and like, man, really just him.
Go north side on him, bro.
Man,
Go Chicago on him.
hey, and the thing is, we were like, fuck, we were ahead of our time and shit. We were Facebook Live before Facebook Live. I told him turn on the cameras. We had the cameras on. I'm like, we're gonna have proof just in case they do tell our fans. Yeah, even if they tell the audience or people or musicians, we're gonna have the proof.
You were gonna have your proof.
We were gonna have the proof, and that all went down. But the point is, that night we said, over our dead bodies, you're going to fucking Indiana. Something's gonna go down right now, but none of you fools are leaving from here. You guys are gonna go back home. Give me the damn keys, give me the van, give me everything, give me the instruments, but you ain't going nowhere. And I remember they just took off and they gave us the keys and didn't. I don't even know if they played that night.
Yeah,
but
they played. Then the story comes that the drummer, our drummer that we have at the moment.
Oh, that's a funny story.
He was the backup plan
the savior.
to that day.
Our drummer that we have currently, which he always laughs about, he goes, esa noche que ustedes fueron a chingar a whatever, me hablaron a mí que viniera yo con mi troca.
He pulled up in his own truck to take them to their gig.
Oh, shit.
Because he was friends with the tuba guy that replaced that they got to play the tuba.
Yeah.
So they called him knowing that he had a truck or something. They hooked up the trailer to it, and he was their ride to the gig.
And then eventually, did they end up playing with the name?
Yeah.
Yes, they played.
They played for like
6 months.
about 6 months. So there was a time that's when
había dos,
yeah.
por decir,
that's when we ended up, because like then they tried to hit us up with the cease and desist letter.
Okay.
You guys.
They were like, fuck that.
What
But
the
then we
fuck?
seen it, but yeah, we try to ignore it. But then that's when we just said, all right, we'll just do Mazizo All Stars. That's when Mazizo All Stars came
And the
in.
All Star comes back into play to our beginnings, our love for baseball. Not just because we called it All Stars, because that was our dream. So
I like that shit.
Like the All Star game, you get the best guys out
to be
of
the
every
best
team,
player,
right?
to be in the All Star team,
You
you got to
know,
be the best player.
The
So
All
that
Stars,
was-
because we were the All Stars.
Yeah.
En pocas palabras.
Right.
No, es cuando decimos hacer Mazizo All Stars, but then that's when the Hermanos Obregón came into the play. Es porque queríamos dejar en claro, si tenían en el flyer Mazizo Los Hermanos Obregón, you were gonna come see us.
Yeah.
So if that's who you wanted to see, then that's how we wanted you to know. If you wanted to go fucking see them, then go ahead. But if we put Mazizo Hermanos Obregón, nos ibas a ver a nosotros.
And then at that time in reggaeton, it was really hard. It was MVP.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Some people
Yeah,
liked it. They were
cuando
like
salió.
All Stars, but
Yeah.
But-
Pero sí, por eso lo pusimos ya All Stars, because that's when we got
was
the
cool.
little letter, porque ellos nos dijeron que ellos tenían el nombre y no lo podíamos usar. We were like, that's bullshit. This is our fucking name.
Yeah, because
You
aside
can't fucking do that.
of sending us the letters personally, they started sending it to the promoters.
Right.
They started shouting
Like,
out,
get
yeah,
these
if you
guys.
hire them, you're gonna get in legal
we
problems
were
too.
Damn.
even after feeling hurt, we were still.
That's how bad they were afraid
Yeah.
of the competition. Because like I say, and then after that, this was somewhere in the summer of 2010. So they lasted till December. At December, they ended.
The funny thing is that even though that happened, then after you, like a breakup, right, after you get through the hurt and the pain and all that stuff, and you can't believe what just happened, we were still cool. All right, have your band, because you still have. We also, I guess it hurts, except that we slipped up. We didn't pay attention to the paperwork.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, but we're not gonna give
take
in.
some fault.
We're gonna take some responsibility. All right, so do you, like you said, but we're gonna be Mazizo All-Stars, Los Hermanos Obregón, whoever you want to see,
And
go
then let
support.
the people decide.
Right.
And let the people decide. We're not even gonna bother you guys. We're just gonna grind. And that's where Tuti comes in, which to this day, every time I see Tuti, I give him a big thanks, because I remember he was my first phone call. That was crazy times, because we didn't know what we were gonna do. I repeat, they never showed us the business. They always kept us in the hotels and in the houses. They never showed us how to learn. We were only the performers, and that's it.
You never technically
From
got
zero.
contacts like during
Nothing. We
you
began
guys were
from
just playing.
zero. I give ourselves a lot of credit,
Not one
because
single person.
I give you a lot more credit, because honestly, real quick, sorry, I just thought like, man, Ricardo has a lot of plugs. He aprovechó el tiempo on the road to
Not
get
one
all
single
this.
plug.
I wish,
hey,
man.
my respect,
I
bro.
wish. All my fellow
Which was
colleagues.
when we started, I was saying we played that first weekend, and it was in Milwaukee, right? And all that. And I remember that's kind of when we decided who the hell was going to be the manager of the group. We were in my truck, I believe, and we were going to get a phone call from some guy from South Carolina who wanted to hire us for our first big weekend outside of Chicago when we were just by ourselves.
Solos, yeah.
And we looked at each other like, who's going to take this phone call? And then I said, you take it. And that's how he became the manager.
He took the
But-
first
I said,
call.
you take him, mama.
But then the guy goes, "Pero cómo lo quiere trabajar?" And I'm trying to act smart. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. You know when they say 80-20 o que así después de
Pagado,
gastos.
hijo de la chingada.
I didn't know nothing. Yeah, pagados. You know, deme unos whatever, 500 or just saying some dumb number like just
Exactly.
he
Not
says
even
yes.
knowing what would
What
be a
to do.
reasonable price to
What's a
charge.
You
reasonable
guys
price?
obviously have no
Nothing.
idea
Nothing.
at all.
We don't
Or
know
the
what's
market.
fair market value or what's our value or what was
What our
ever
group's
our value.
charging, what
That's
it is.
nuts, bro.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Zero.
so
When
it's
we say we
it
started
just
from zero, it means
changed.
zero.
It started all over again.
It's
The only thing that obviously we did the Mazizo thing, the name was there, but business wise, it was from zero.
People don't understand, man. If people knew our actual this key part to this story have seen us playing with 35,000, 50,000 people, and you think that you also become smart business-wise or become, you know resources because it's part of the industry, right? Conoces contacts, you make relationships. Yeah. Well, we didn't make none of that because we were just behind closed doors. We would just take the stage and get off the stage and go right back home.
That's fucking crazy, bro.
All my
Fucking
fellow
sheltered.
colegas, they have all the resources. To this day, it hasn't changed. They know everybody. They have the contacts. But Mazizo began from zero. And that's where going back to Tuti.
Yeah.
I make my call when we get back to Chicago, shitting bricks. And like he said, all right, I'll take the reins. I'll have to figure it out. I felt like, man, I'm going to have to learn, get a bachelor's degree in music.
Even in Spanish, because he didn't even talk Spanish.
I didn't even express myself completely good in Spanish, and still to this day, I me defiendo. Pero bueno, the point is that I got back home. I'm like, let me call Tuti. I think I'm cool with him, and he said I'll come over because by then Tuti kind of started learning the business way more because I think they put him as the head leader in Braceros.
Yeah.
By then he was in Braceros, so he started learning a bit of the business.
The business
through,
side of
I
it.
think Zamora Entertainment and that bigger company.
And
So
even,
So he knew a little bit more, but more than that, I trusted him that he was going to give me a little bit of the feedback that I needed to hear. I called him up. We set it up a meeting one day. I told him, man, explain to me the ins and outs or how these things work. I remember I took notes.
writing shit down.
But, man, if you could only imagine the fucking stress or the fucking nerves that I was going through, like fuck, man, how are we going to keep this afloat? We don't have one person to turn to, not one contact. We don't know nobody. Nobody. And I think that made them feel good, though, from Pedro to the band to other people, too. Trust me, they want to see you
They thought
fall.
we were going to sing like the motherfucking Titanic.
They want to see you fall because even though it sounds nice, they act like people are your friends or repeat. You're still a threat because if you're another group, you're a group that can take work away from him. If he cancels out, then it just opens up more trabajo para ti. That's just how it's going to be. Entre menos grupos y tú estás ahí, es como un equipo sin luz. I sometimes tell, we're in Chicago, like for example, right? There's 1,000 bands here. When they call us, they call all 1,000 hasta que lleguen al grupo que le dé el mejor precio.
Right.
And I know people in North Carolina where there's only 2 sounds, and you ask him how much he charges for his sound or him as a DJ, he charges a rack. And you're probably saying, damn, what the hell am I doing here in Chicago? That guy's making triple over there because there's only 2 of them.
Yep.
And right here in Chicago, only because nos encanta Chicago.
Supply and demand.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah.
I think we're like California. We're like in the worst cities, but I think I've heard California's worse. I think they pay those fools like probably even worse from what I hear.
That's what I heard.
Shit, pero le mueven la barra, pero repito, they're making them bank
But
money.
that's the
so-
city, though. That's the place to be in the music at the moment for the same thing. You have the major guys crossing in and out of Mexico through there, so everything moves over there.
Yeah.
We're up here in the Midwest. It's harder
tough.
for all that movement.
Yep.
It's harder to get
and
bands
that's
out of
pressure,
here.
man. That's pressure because I think we all can agree. We live in Chicago. I think they already rated us the highest, the place to live. I think everything here in Chicago costs the most, from mortgage to rent to whatever. So, picture us going boom, dropping. The plane just crashed, and we don't have nowhere to turn to. There's still bills to pay. The time is ticking. I'm just telling him, man, we got 30 days before the next payment of whatever, right? You're thinking to think of something, and I'm calling people. I remember calling just random calls. Oiga, ¿se acuerdan de nosotros? Éramos los, somos los hermanos, bla, bla, bla. Oh, sí, ustedes son los hermanos. Sí, pues yo creo que ya saben de la separación, bla. Every call they would make, like he would say, every promoter would say, well, Pedro or the Diaz or this guy, que no les demos trabajo.
Oh, shit.
So-
Yeah, they had already
You guys
contacted
got
them.
blacklisted.
Oh, we got blacklisted not just by our band. Like I said, I don't want to name names because I don't want to get pissed. We got blacklisted by other fellow colegas, like other promoters, because what happens is if you're Pedro and you're the one who deals with all those nightclubs, well then in their eyes they want to stay cool with Pedro, so they want to do what Pedro says. Hey, no les des trabajo a ellos. So then they don't even let you perform. You talking about a battle? If
Connections, people you know and do you favors and threaten you. Hey, if you give them, then I'm not gonna take the band that you already manage or the other guy or the.
They make you money on that night or shit like that.
We had double trouble, man. It's not just the fact that we were up against the company, but they would also other people.
It was a big chain.
That
came
chain
with
that gets along with him were also on board with blocking us out. Everybody, and even still to this goddamn day, still people trying to block us out, and we're still here. Goddamn it, they ain't stopping us. They ain't stopping me.
We played it. I think after that rupture, we got to play in Aragon, and I guess because the 2 top guys there, whoever were in charge, got mad at each other, so they say, "Hey man, come here, go ahead and play."
Oh shit.
Just to get on his bad side, you know what I'm
I
saying?
don't even know if you guys remember that dance. That was a couple years ago in Aragon when they do that dance. It was Mazizo, Horóscopo, the Norteño group that was just here like 2 weeks ago. I forgot.
Voces del Rancho.
Voces del Rancho.
Okay.
But they did that event. I think there was like
On New Year's Day?
On New Year's Day, the next day over. And I remember they called me and they're like, hey, let's make it happen. Yeah, let's do it. They let us in. But I think we sold out. That Aragon dance got packed. I don't know if anybody was there that night, but that day, but it got packed. It was like a tardeada, and it got packed. But the point is, from one phone call to another phone call, going back to the same thing as far as going back to advice, it goes intertwined.
Preach.
Don't sit back waiting on you thinking you're special and waiting for the phone call to come your way, man. You got to be like a
Hustle and grind.
Yeah, man.
Look for it.
You got to go out there and keep insisting. Persistence, man. It's for real, man. You got to be on that phone. You got to keep bothering. You got to keep bothering. Even if you think you're the top dog, keep bothering. Don't let your mindset change. Like the guy who works hard, right? You got to still keep getting up every day and making those phone calls. Hell, I got a story with him that I told Abel I was going to tell about.
You all right? Did you hit the blunt or what?
Oh, so it's coming this way. It's coming this way.
No. Is it the chamoy? Tómele algo.
Yeah, like I said,
Sin albur, pero pegó el chile aquí. You know, it got me earlier. It got me earlier, man.
Pero that's another piece of advice.
That's crazy. You know what? Because we're talking about that. You know, I'm probably. I think I'm at that point right now. It's like, no, you got to call me. You got to call me. Why do I have to make phone calls? Why do I got to keep on bothering people? No. Yo ya estoy a ese nivel. I mean, but that's egotistical, don't you think? Like, what's that? I mean, I hustle, I grind. I don't make calls. I don't. But
Well, maybe
I
for
should.
obviously for you, like you say, if you play parties, you don't make the calls because you got to wait on people's parties to call you.
Right.
But I mean, if you want to play at a club, I'm guessing you would say, "Hey, I want to get in there. How do I get in
What
there?"
I'm trying to do is like I'm trying to go into like voice work, like comerciales,
Voice work.
presentaciones, and all that stuff, and that pops off a little bit. But the talent agency houses, you're going across the whole world, like English, deep voice, it goes like nitty gritty, right? But like at that point, you're like, who do you call? Because in this market, it's like, no, este es mi trabajo, güey. Like,
that's
why am I
frustrating.
gonna fucking tell you? Because one of the like the biggest voices in the regional Mexican, like you'll hear him in every radio station. I'm not gonna say any names, right? But like that guy, like I feel like he blacklisted me because him and his voice, if you go side by side, we're kind of like similar but different. And like he saw me as a threat because I met him and I used to work for him at a radio station. And then it's like, oh shit, this guy's a fucking threat. Me va a quitar trabajo. And like the circles that I was trying to get into was like, he was like, no le des trabajo. Like the same fucking deal. But at that point, it's like, but I'm getting work from here, I'm getting work from there. But why am I not getting this work? Who do I gotta call? And I'm like, fuck it. I'll just wait for them to call me. And this is, I mean, that's what I'm trying to say. Like anybody in that moment, as a group, as an artist at 360, like why should you make calls? Why should you make the call?
You want to create opportunity. That's what you're trying to do.
Estás pidiendo, like, I feel like in my mentality is more like, mi trabajo. Como limosnero.
But that's the bad part that won't let you progress if you feel like that. You're trying to showcase your talent, whether any way possible, get in the door.
Right.
Like we
After
told him, we have to get into the door,
and then,
in order to start seeing how it's the inside, and then you start changing shit.
And
if you
times
can't even
change.
get in the door, you
Right.
ain't doing anything.
Right.
And times change. You gotta also understand. Well, that's why what we were going through. Wow, like I said, is crazy because it was also during the crash of the market. So now for everybody, not just Duranguense, now everybody was doing bad. Gigs were going bad in general.
Yeah.
In general,
Yeah.
Obviously the focal point would look Duranguense because we were considered in the people's eyes that hey, éramos los más fuertes. El género estaba fuerte a su pokeo y ya miraron cómo cayó, pero los eventos habían caído en general. Right. Los eventos habían caído. So now you have the market crash. So why you still have to create opportunity? Because when that happened, negocios, promoters, and all that flip mentalities. Before they would buy you blindly because every show would go good. Mm-hmm. If you had an event of 500 people, they would call that a slow night. Nowadays, we're in 2022. If you can get 200 people in the door, that's a successful night. Bull crap if you tell me different. Yeah, you want your every now and then 600, 800, 1,000, and the people who do, the bigger names, of course, they're putting more people. But if we're talking a consistent en los tiempos de ahorita, que uno que viaja a todo tipo de venues y salones y uno escucha los rumores de cómo se ponen los bailes, if you could pull 250 somewhere there, man, that's depending on what you charge at the door, obviously, but that's a good night, man. Right. That's a good night. So that's what happened. Also, what happened, like a crackhead, right? Now everybody's need, because times changed, made people more greedy and more crooked. By 2010 and the market crash, now what they, where we're at now, pues te doy la puerta. So when you say, why am I going to call you? Well, because they're not going to call you because nobody no more was investing. There's no more investors.
It's a great point, man.
Yeah.
Nobody's gambling no more. You're not going to give up your money when you already know that the shows are dead. So if that band, I don't care if you want to call Arrolladora, he wants $40,000 and you're not going to get 200 people.
No, it doesn't make sense. Money.
So the business is you got to bet on yourself and say,
bet on
hey,
yourself.
give me the door. Even if 10 people go in, you got to be willing to, like your skill, maybe not that time.
Right.
But those 10, you win them over, and then maybe you come around next time, and then you got 30.
20,
and it's a
40.
matter of
snowball
repetition.
effect.
Exactly.
So,
and that's how this works.
and that's where the game changed because promoters from that developed that tendency, and they have not looked back. The game has not changed. Every now and then you're going to run into a couple people that are probably on a decent run, and they'll tell you right off the bat, like you said when you get those calls, pues cuánto quieres, yo te compro. Yeah, you like those. Like, yeah, I got you. But I'll tell you one thing. I know the big dogs are the big dogs are the big bands, and they're getting the same offer you're getting. So don't feel bad. Local group, middle group, big group, we're getting the same offers.
Yeah.
The difference is who's winning the gamble on themselves, and that's what Mazizo has. When you brought up the fest thing and other things, well, Mazizo gambles on himself. If you don't want to give us what we want, which brings me to an anecdota with even you that I said I had to say it to Ava. I tell Ava, I'm going to bring it up. I'm like, even the first time I kind of met you, like I said, I don't forget these little things because these are the things that evolve me.
Right.
It's not a bad story, but I remember one time you called me that I don't forget, and you said, hey, I'm trying to do some shows out here by the casino, out here by Indiana.
The Horseshoe?
Yeah, but there was a club or there was a hall out there. They would do shows out there. We used to play out there. I forget what it was called. By
Hammond, East Hammond.
Yeah, East Hammond, Indiana. There was a little hall.
Was it? It's not Lexus Hall.
Lexus Hall, East
Lexus
Chicago.
Hall?
Yeah.
East Chicago.
Let's call it what it is. But I
Yeah.
remember you said, hey, man, whatever, let's do something, man, whatever. And I'm like, well, we charge this much. And I think even you said, like, man, what? Get out of here. I ain't, that's a lot.
Oh boy,
No, but and I said, and
You're
I
gonna
said,
make the host angry.
the plot thickens. Dun, dun.
but
Dun, dun, dun.
yeah, but I said, well, it is what it is, whatever. But the point is, that's like where we were at. Like even probably he said it from a business standpoint. Like, nah, I don't think you're gonna pull that people, or this is dying down. You're not worth that. Well, you have a right to say what a person's not worth, but I have a right to say, well, I see it otherwise.
Right.
I
You
see
have
it
a right to
otherwise.
believe in what your product
and-
is.
Correct.
And now to fast forward, we're in 2022, and that mentality has not changed. Anybody who calls me, it's this way or this way. At least that's what I have. Other like I repeat, uno que sabe en la industria que hoy cobran tanto, otro cobran tanto, y they're all over the place.
Brinca, yeah.
It's this way or that way. But what I'm trying to say is we gamble on ourselves. We do. So we've hustled. We've not stopped hustling. We call. You don't want to buy us? Then don't buy us. Get out the way. Boom.
Next.
On to the
Next.
next.
And we've survived. And like my brother said, what's funny out of this whole story, how can it be that Mazizo, who brought in 35,000 people, damn it, per night, or 20,000 people, how can it be that we're better now than we were back then?
Well, we know how, but it was.
We know how.
Like I said, we got paid with fame back then. Now we're actually getting paid with money.
Money.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
And that's that we just keep
I like
it.
that.
We keep it even. Because another thing that we have that probably is good or a flaw, we don't sweat nobody. We don't play that game, man.
We ain't Hollywood. We 100%
We don't
real.
do Hollywood. Quit calling it business, because if it was business, then you would have eyes and you would see, hey, here's the talent. If hey. So he's touching on the Fez. What happened with the Fez, or why don't you get invited to those paquetes or that? Well, there it is. You can say what you want, but they're looking at the numbers, or they're either looking at, well, they asked for too much, or their demands are too high. But hey, that's a good thing though. At least we demand more out of ourselves.
What your worth is.
What we're worth.
Yeah.
And just so the people that are watching and listening, he's bringing it up because I brought up the Durango Fest. As far as like, does it make you guys feel a certain way? Being that you guys got your trayectoria, and we're only getting a fucking fraction of the story, like,
Everything,
but I'm saying, like, everything that you guys have accomplished, does it feel a certain way 19 years later to not be part of that or even included in that?
At this
Or
point,
not really, like, fuck it, we don't really care.
It doesn't bother me one bit,
Okay.
and it's not fake. I'm not just saying right here. It doesn't bother me one bit because we're going back to 2010.
Yeah.
It's like a relationship. I already felt pain. I already saw that they blocked us out.
I like that.
I felt that already. So I learned to already
So it doesn't
overcome.
phase you. It doesn't phase you.
None of them phase me.
Yeah.
None of them.
So
None of them. Nobody
Yeah.
Are
phases
your
me.
demands so high? Like you want all green Skittles? You need 10 bottles of
I
water
demand
cold?
more.
Heavy in water.
They don't know that. Like I said, like back to the sports thing. I'm just competitive. I demand more out of
Okay,
myself.
Yeah.
Nice,
They
nice.
I don't got time for none of them. I don't got time to see if you posted that you had when you're posting. Look at me, my concert went for 20,000. I don't give a damn. I'm happy with my 200 people, and I bet you I probably made more than what you made, which are supposedly 2,000 people.
Right.
Because we know the game, we know the business, we went through that. So, in business sense, you learn where's the actual reward, where's
Right.
the payout. Now we don't got time to say, look at the fame part. We got time for look at the numbers part.
Yeah.
The real
That's what
part.
hurts about like watching. Like we know it when you see groups posting and they're watching, or even you guys. I'm
don't
not
have to
sure.
say no names.
they take pictures at festivals and they act like all these people came here to see them.
For me.
As musicians, we know you're being full of shit. Like it looks good on your Facebook
On your
post,
resume.
right?
For marketing,
But
it's good.
no,
I
those
get
fucking people are not there to see you. You just said, "Hey guys, everybody, put up your hands right now. I'm gonna take a picture." Right?
But I get you.
But it's like there's nothing like knowing that
Yeah.
at least if it's fucking 100 or 200 people,
They're there for your
everybody
people.
paid there to see you.
They're there
You
for
know, all these people maybe came in for free or fucking just came to see the other group that you know is really headlining. But you said, "Hey, get your fucking hands up, take a picture for me real quick."
You know, we never did that. We never did. That's funny. We played with everybody that you can name. I don't care who, from Tigres to everybody. I guess Tigres. They're the
Arrolladora
top.
MS opens for us in fucking Mexico. No, sin rascar muebles, como dicen por ahí.
Yeah. Everybody has opened for us. So, but we've never been colados to somebody else's stuff. I don't know. We just don't have that way of being. We don't like to show off. Like that's the end goal. This is not a show-off game for us. We're not trying to tell none of yous, look at us or look at our lifestyle. We care about the art. We care about the music. Know my music. Like my music. Support my music. Come out. And that's our end goal to this day, man.
You're right.
There's also no worse feeling than being in front of 20,000 people and nobody gives a fuck what you're playing.
Yeah.
Nobody
How
gives
about
a damn.
that?
That feels horrible.
I remember Bon Jovi's.
As opposed to having 100 people, at least those people are dancing with you.
singing
And
your
having
song.
20,000 people, and you know, like, when the fuck is that group gonna come up?
I never
and
seen
it's
it
not
that
you.
way. I never thought about
And
it
it's
that way.
not you. So it's like, fuck. I'm like, nah,
Man,
I mean, but like you say,
Not
that
doing
part, me always defending why they. I always like say when I watch it and I try to figure out why do they do it, or like you're saying, even if it's a local at a festival, he's taking a picture. It's a logo for him. Whether maybe he saw the reaction of the front people, maybe not the back people. Maybe like you said, they're not all there for them. Somewhere in their head, they must know that. I hope they know that. But like you say, it's still a good feeling because it's a highlight in their career.
Yeah,
Like you
that,
say,
you
maybe
stepped, that they stepped on the stage, yeah,
we did
absolutely.
that
Obviously, that's
already,
what you want. You
and
know, you
now-
want to
Yeah.
step on a stage that is of big
went through
value.
the fake
But at the end of
stuff.
the day, you got to live with it yourself. You know that nobody was there for you. Or that, you know, these people were here for me or these weren't. You know,
Reality
you
to
know it
the-
inside.
You know how to
You know
filter
it
that
inside.
out.
And that's what
You
we're trying
gotta
to
live
say.
with that.
That's what we're trying to say. We get all that,
Yeah.
but be for the music. It's you got to live for the music. It got to matter because that's what's gonna make you withstand the hard time when you're suffering and it's going good and bad. If you love the music that much, the passion, it's gonna carry you through. If it's for the illusion, then you're gonna get a lot of heartbreak.
This business humbles you very quick. Hoy viernes te va para la chingada. Nos pasa. Viernes nos va para la chingada. Llegaron 10 personas y el sábado de repente we got fucking a packed house. You're like, what the fuck? What happened from this place to this? Or why do they care more about us here than over there? You're like, but it happens that quickly from night to night, and you're fucking like trying to figure out, or te va para la chingada el fin de semana, pero el próximo te va bien. It's like it's buenas y malas, and not a lot of people can withstand that. They can't hold on to like the one cuando les va mal la primera no les pagaron, no llegaron con nada. Oh puta madre. It's like it's hard because sometimes we go nomás de un día, de un sábado. It's like I know locals can't even fucking fathom doing something like that. But we go to fucking Georgia for 12 hours. We go play 1 hour. A lo mejor nos fue bien o nos fue mal. Sometimes nos va para la chingada and we have to come right fucking back home and nos fue mal. Sometimes we go and it fucking goes great. So it's like, wait, we just fucking drove out here 24 hours, going and coming. We played 1 fucking hour. Nos fue amor para la verga, or nos fue bien. It's something that happens.
We do
And
not
it's like,
want to
fuck.
hear. We do
But
not
there's-
want to
It's
hear.
like this and
yeah,
that. And
man.
it's like, so you can't be like, oh, it's always gonna go fucking good for us. Something's gonna go bad for you from one day to the next, or the whole weekend goes bad, or the next weekend goes perfectly great. You never know how it's gonna work out for you. So you just gotta be ready for that. And you gotta be willing for those punches. Too many. That's why I see a lot of local musicians don't go anywhere. They're nothing but locals. They can't even fucking go to Indiana. Like, and if they go to Indiana, like what you just said, oh, they want que quieren las pinches cervezas en la barra, que they want all this fucking thing. You're talking about, well, they want this, they want that, but you fucking charging this over here, like, just because you're gonna fucking drive 2 hours, now it's a fucking big mission for you? Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. We
Si no
fucking,
ofender,
we
dice,
do
gente, no.
fucking 12 hours just to play 1 hour and maybe come back with shit. And you're fucking trying to drive fucking 2 hours to Indianapolis, and you already think, hey, por favor, póngame cervezas, quiero toda una botella, y las mujeres allá.
Yeah.
Nah, bro.
The point
Nah.
is, like, man, don't tell me about how much passion you have for the music, or how much supposedly you want it, like you want to reach. I don't know what it is that you want to reach. When you, like he said, you call these people up talking about an hour drive, and they already sound like torture over the phone, like 1 hora y media, es que está tan, man. And like he just said, we just drove 24 hours. What I'm trying to say is, you're not on my level. I don't got time to hear what you have to say. Not now, not ever. You do not know what I've been through.
That's not disrespect, but that's just truth,
that's just
bro.
the truth.
You can't speak on something that you don't fucking know or aren't willing to do. Like, we're willing to fucking go to fucking Florida, which is a fucking 21-hour drive on the weekend. And a ver cómo puta nos va. Nos dan la puerta. Hey, we ask them, hey, what is it going to be? Door or fucking thing? No, we're going to give me the fucking door. All right.
But it's not about
betting on
go.
yourself.
That's what we're doing. We're going to see how it fucking goes for us.
But like I said, we've done the Mexico and everything. So we put in time, man. Like I said, you can't imagine. We've gone sleepless nights. I repeat, playing 7 days a week, dobletes. Not sleeping, man. Not sleeping. Then from there you go to the TV shows.
Those are the worst, the TV shows in the fucking morning.
You go from
we
double,
fucking finished playing
gigs.
at 4 in the morning. They tell you got to be at fucking
6.
Despierta America at 7 in the fucking morning, bro.
But in Mexico,
bro, I haven't slept.
But the point here is that don't tell me what you want to aspire to, and you just complain over
not putting the work
not
in.
putting in the work, man.
Yeah.
You don't even imagine. Whoever's actually doing more successful, like they say, people don't get that person is busting his ass even more. It doesn't make it any better because we were at the top, so we know that feeling. So even if I see Julián Álvarez or Arrolladora y que tienen fechas llenas y todo, well,
that means no sleep.
That means
I feel sad for them. I would feel bad for them.
Because
I would sound like
that doesn't mean they're living the life.
That's
that means
horrible. That's horrible.
They
work.
go to the next.
You don't
That's
even
the
want
funny
that.
part.
You
That's
don't want
funny.
the what they call the fucking. You would work the weekends and you'd have to fucking show up to all these shows to do entrevistas and televisión. And I told them, man, eso es una chinga. Eso, don't even give that to me. We did it for a little bit and it was just horrible. That's like the worst thing you can do.
He calls
bro.
it a little bit.
We did it for that time period that we did it, bro. It was like it's not even fun.
So the intangible, funny. Like I said, we live a modest life. We're not trying to presumir it. We live a modest life. Funny, like I said, we live a better life than supposedly when was our strongest time.
That is 100% true.
But where I would say that I wouldn't trade, I don't care Julián Álvarez or Firme's lifestyle, because thank God we got to live that lifestyle. Right. We got to live the glory of being at La Cima and everything that felt with packing houses and the people all over you. When I mean not just the people, like I said, everybody else, media, and everybody who wants to be just your best buddy in the world now, right?
Yeah.
So we know what that feels like too. Everybody just chasing you. Like I said, we've had lines and lines of people, like straight up like the Beatles. Like we hide in hotels. We would hide in hotels, and people would scout them out and waiting in lines in the hotels to get pictures.
I just went to Durango this last month. I went to La Feria. We hadn't gone since the last time we played. It was 12 years ago.
Oh, wow.
I just barely went. I'm like, so I'm going. I don't give a fuck. I just want to go to Durango. That's where we're from. I'm like, yo quiero ir a La Feria. Va a estar grupos, todo el pedo.
Personally, though, right?
Just me, vacation. So, but when we were in Durango, and we were on our top fame, there was nowhere I could walk with anybody asking me for a picture or pulling me somewhere. I walked on La 20,
we
La 5 de Febrero.
Everywhere.
Like, there was somebody always siempre jalando, hey, esto. This time I went, it's 100% opposite. I wasn't comfortable with it. At the end of the day, everybody wants to be famous.
He's not the 17-year-old.
Everybody wants to be famous, but you don't know to what extent that it's going to become. So we were famous at that point when we were, and everybody wants a piece of you. So it's like, it just becomes exhausting, and you don't know who to trust. You don't know who wants what. You don't know who's coming at you for what reasons. Like, oh, you're just a singer, or because, hey, haz esto. Like, fortunately, I got to live that experience of top fame. Like, everywhere we went, everybody was bugging.
The cops would get mad if, like, they knew we were going to go take a walk down an avenue.
Because they needed to escort you guys and shit.
Because we would create a chaos and it would get out of hand, and they didn't have enough security. Wherever we would go, whatever state we were at, if we would go to like their plaza because we just wanted to get out, man. We wanted to get some air. Man, it would
there
get
had
out
to be
of
a
hand.
police escort.
You know,
A lot.
I'm very interested in that topic, bro. I've asked people before, like, you guys being on the llegaron, how did you guys handle that popularity that was that just came, you know, like
Fast.
I don't think
like I said, ultimately, like you said, you think you want that when you start out. You're like, oh, everybody know my music. I want everybody's songs, and I want everybody to recognize me. But you only put it at that. You don't know what that extra is gonna be. Like you're gonna go eat at this restaurant, and you're gonna think you can fucking eat that taco and bien tranquilo, but everybody's fucking looking at you eating it.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be like,
All the simple things like going
You're
to
like-
the movies,
you're
going to
like,
that
fuck.
restaurant, going for that
I
ice
can't
cream.
even fucking eat. I can't even fucking eat. There's people. I'm walking down this fucking
the
street.
same
It's
thing,
like
that fame happens
they're pointing,
in Mexico.
It's over there.
It's
in
more like,
Mexico.
say,
No, but
in
that's where it happened
Mexico-
for us because
yeah,
that's
what
where
happened
we
for
got
us.
to our highest point.
Yeah.
Allá en México todos nos conocían. En Durango, because ahí vivimos 6 meses, lo que sea. Todos nos conocían. Me miraban caminar por la calle. Todos, hey, ahí está. Or, hey, una foto. It's like you want it. You're like, at the beginning, it starts out like, oh, shit, they recognize me. Cool. Yeah, let's go take a picture. No big deal. And then when it becomes, it's like, otra foto. You're like, fuck.
You know what's so
Like, just
crazy?
stop, you
when
know?
you're eating that taco and they're just like this all fucking
And
sus
they're,
and
you know,
shit.
keeping. And that was even before that. Like, that's why it's probably horrible now.
Yeah.
Like, if
But
I'd
because
become famous now, I'd be probably 10 times worse.
'Cause in Mexico,
because
the-
everybody is recording you and doing this. Like,
The
that's
people
not
in
fun.
Mexico are more actual fans and they
Yeah.
love the music differently. I'm thinking, well, at least
We've
they
seen.
show it different
Yeah.
than here.
Yeah.
Here
Oh,
is different
100.
because the money situation over there, when they spend a ticket or 100 pesos, 200 pesos,
well-earned,
they might be
hard
missing out on a meal to go see you. A lot of
true.
people.
Yeah.
Here, since a lot of people, you know, people make decent money or can afford to hire you, because you know there's people that take you a party, a big band. So when they hire you, they're like, I can afford you, so it means I'm like your boss. Like, I can pay you. You ain't nobody.
That point
Yeah.
goes.
You
Takes
ain't
me,
nobody.
The worst thing that happens to the fucking the artists here in the United States is the VIP tables.
That's the
Yeah,
worst.
that's the
Musicians
fucking
sometimes
worst.
It's usually
These
people
are
that
the
don't know you.
wrong people who belong in front of the stage for you, man.
They should put them on the
That,
side.
that
maybe.
became a thing, right? Now, how many years ago? But whatever, how long ago, that's the worst thing that happened to the artists. That
Obviously,
is the
it's
worst.
money.
These are the wrongest people that should be in front
It's
of
money
us.
for the venue.
The
money
best
for
people
their
are over there in the back, and we're performing
But,
for these
yeah.
people who give
But
no
they-
shits about you.
Yeah, but
who
they-
are still thinking about how cool they are just to be there because they know they paid this amount, they got their bottle, and they're just looking at you like,
hell yeah.
where you as the artist, you're trying
Like,
to find
cállate,
somebody
toca.
to feed off of, right? You want
the
somebody to give you some fucking energy.
Energy
You want
back.
somebody to be like, hey, I know your song, and those people are over there in the back. While these motherfuckers are with their faces, you're like, you fucking assholes. That's the worst thing that happens to the artists here in the United States. The VIP tables, man. Without
You would think
question.
VIP. I would put a VIP like on the side of the stage, maybe not in front of the thing, because they always live like you say. It kills the mood for the musicians. But
Yeah.
once again, it's a business,
not
right?
about us,
Nobody's
right? It's
thinking
about
about the
money.
musicians, thinking about money. So for a musician, that's the worst thing because usually the people that pay that top price, not necessarily they're your fans, they just can afford
Right.
that table.
It's
you
more
know?
about status.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they,
it's
they,
more
they
status.
just
It's
want
all
to avoid
status
they want to avoid the people who are actually there to have a good time. They're just
Yeah.
like, hey, keep those people away from me.
Hell yeah.
yeah, it's
I don't
like,
want to be part of that shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean,
That's unfortunate.
It goes
but
back
that's
to, like you
what
say, to
sucks.
the musicians. Obviously, we've done it. We've been there. We've done that. Like you say, hopefully, like to most people, like he says, when he says that, because usually maybe a musician, even especially us, maybe in Chicago, a lot of the new ones or the ones that are there don't know us or don't know what we've done. Like I say, maybe a través de este show,
Ojalá que
we've been
sí.
talking business and
Más.
know Mazizo a little bit more. So they'll know, like I say, it's not that we're shitting on nobody or say we're just like facts of reality of life. Because we like that point to, we always tell people, you know, hey, it's not a fantasy world out there. It sucks. It's hard. You got to really love it to put up with it, especially 20 years. Good times, bad times. And, you know, locals, like, or when I say, not to disrespect when we say locals, obviously
No.
it's just because your scene of music is here.
Yes, sir.
But it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
You could talk to them, and I don't care. I don't want to do that life. And that's perfectly cool, but then don't disrespect or make it seem like we ain't shit.
Right.
Because we're not the top dog or because you don't know us. That doesn't mean we didn't put in the work.
Exactly.
And that's the part that sometimes sucks when you hear that or, hey, man, I ain't shit.
You're
Like,
trying
wait.
to give them their space, but when they kind of cross over with those jabs to you in that indirect way, then all right, then now you okay. Now I got to get you back. Oh, hold on, know your place. Know your place now.
Dijo, I think on an interview I saw Arcángel, I guess the
Oh, yeah, yeah.
the guy who sings reggaeton or something like that.
Yeah.
And he says, there's no big guy or little guy. If you talk shit to me, whether you're a small timer or a big timer, you're gonna get my shit. You know, you're gonna get answered back. So which means the same thing. Yeah, maybe like, hey, ¿pa qué le haces caso? So you can learn how to respect.
Yeah.
That's why you do it. Not necessarily because you are somebody or I'm afraid of you or you can do something to me. Or it's so you know how to show respect to the people who actually put in the work and, you know, bust their ass doing it.
We respect every musician, man. Everybody who travels. I don't care who you are, the smallest band. But if you're out there in the grind, man, I have the ultimate respect for you, man.
1,000%. If you're willing out there to do the things that we know that you have to do to be in this business, like if you're local, then I mean, there's only so much you can talk shit about. But if you're a musician who's willing to fucking leave his family, never be on there on the weekends, miss everybody's party, like lose all your friends, do everything basically cease to exist in the world other than Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and that's only for your family, then I'm sorry, you cannot opinionate. You don't have that right. Like, just because you play here and you think that you're packing up certain clubs, it's not the same thing.
Some
you
people
you don't have the right.
Right, and some people have gone so far there to act so, again, business smart, savvy with their indirect comments saying, well, that they're out, not us, but whoever. They're all out there and they're fucking doing for shits, right? Their lives are for shit. They ain't making shit. We're better off right here. Yeah. You know, what are you doing, dude? You so smart, but when you were, why didn't you apply your so genius? Why did you fall back to this? You were so smart. That should be the question asked. Why did you land back here? Why didn't you make your project work? They're copying out. They don't even hear themselves when they say that. When they say that, they dropped that because eso ya no está dejando nada. You were a part of that. You let that fall. You know, if that was your band and you guys didn't make it, well, no, what you should be saying is that your band couldn't cut it. Right. You were a part of that.
And I think in, I don't know,
they don't see it that way.
Where you mentioned why is it that the groups from Chicago don't seem to do more like California groups. Obviously they're being, you know, Regida and all those groups that are over there. Yeah. But Chicago has a shitload of talent. But we can't, somehow there's no way that they get out of here. The last people, like you say, maybe the Duranguense scene, were the last ones to actually get out and, you know, do a name.
We're the only ones who still go out there and are performing outside.
But like I say, maybe it's a different time. The younger guys see it different. You know, they have a different mentality. Unfortunately, they do have a different mentality. And that's where, like I say, you have to find or talk to the guys. Are you down all the way or are you just down to do this local thing? Yeah, which at the moment, they're okay with it. Because they just want to play, but then thinking that when it's popping off, and then you're barely gonna get traction, the guy quits on you.
I think it's more of they're waiting for the padrino.
Well, they wanted to make it easier for them, right?
Everybody, nobody wants to put in the legwork. Everybody, like you say, especially now that social media, they're like, well, if we do social media, we can just go straight to El Estrellato. And it still doesn't work like that. You still got to put in the work. You still got to go to places. You still got to show up.
It's more like también, they're not willing to lose.
They don't want to
gamble. They don't want to gamble.
They don't want to gamble. Like they have,
and because the same reason, and because maybe, like say, maybe they got a decent job that they don't feel the need. Like I told them, sometimes a veces pienso like I told them, most of the famous groups, you always hear a sad story. They always got some kind of sad story of like, oh, my childhood, crucé de mojado, blah 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 blah.
Right. I don't even have to eat.
But since they've been at the bottom, they're not afraid. That's why they are at the top. Most of us, I tell them, we've always lived a comfortable life. Not the richest, but not the poorest. So we don't really push that extra. We don't want to lose the little bit that we have.
Yeah.
So that's the risk that most of us don't want to take. If I'm okay, like you say, we're living comfortably. We can afford our bills. We can do this. We can do that. But if we risk too much, we might lose it all. And that's the fear. Somebody that's been and we never been at the bottoms. We can't say, we started from the ground and we were poor. Or our parents never, bought us shoes. We don't have that story. Like one time we went on Sábado Gigante. They're like, hey, you ain't got no sad story? Yeah, make up some story. Say you crossed.
They came to us and they told us.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, because we didn't have that story.
Hey, hold on.
And we were willing to say that because, like, how are we going to go on TV and say that our parents didn't give us this? Fuck that. There's no way we're going to disrespect them and be like, my parents did everything so that at least we weren't poor. We're not going to go out here and be like, nosotros no teníamos nada y no nos podíamos ni comer. They wanted you to say that. Querían que tú dijeras que estabas para la chingada y dijimos, no podemos hacer eso.
And that's how I see it. Like, say, obviously, like I'm saying the groups in Chicago. they probably, like I say, a lot of them are still young. Maybe they still live at home with their parents, or they got a decent job, or stuff like that. That they're like, no, well, I'm good. If si salimos que bien, y si no salimos también, or if you're not gonna pay me, well, I don't have the need to go.
Yep.
So if they don't have the need, you won't ever go anywhere. It's not about having the need. It means, do you want it?
Want it. That's the confusion, so they can hear that again, right?
Yep.
See,
Very much.
That's where they need to. That's the key part. That they're still confused when they talk. If they actually had the intellect, they would catch on to those little, the moments, because it's not about that. We get that you know that was the goal, right? Our parents came to give us a better life. Great that you have the option to rechazar. Well, si no me dan este precio, esa oferta, o no vale la pena, pues no voy. Al cabo que mi trabajo, I'm good. Me sostengo ahí.
Yep.
But we're talking about, this band, this project, do you want it?
Yeah.
You want music as
You
your
got to
life.
give that up. Go out there. You're no different than, I repeat, Michael Jackson, Bon Jovi, Mazizo, Arcángel, or whoever you want to think of. That's how that's how this began. What do you, but times changed. Like I said, ahora, I repeat about the sad story. Otra cosa where it's intertwined with, this is funny, in the music business. A veces también lo chistoso de nuestra gente, si ellos sienten que tú no eres tal vez tanto de rancho o no viniste de pobreza, sometimes they don't support you the whole 100%. They, like you said, sometimes they want to feel like they made the artist from zero, from poverty or whatever. Other people play the game. There's other artists that do the whole show, like, look at me, pinches. We don't do that. But isn't that a good thing? Like, that was the goal. The goal was for our parents who struggled from over there to come here to give us a somewhat better life.
Yeah, the goal is to progress.
Yeah.
Progress.
Yeah.
So, like, them.
But they see
like
it as
the
a
young
bad
guys,
thing still. Like, when
he
you
has
speak English, like,
Jordans
why you
or he
talking
has
to me?
whatever. But marketing-wise, if I turn the camera and I show these guys right there, no, let's be honest. If I turn the camera, our typical, costumbres, like, esos pinches vatos, cholos, or whatever.
Pero si trae guarachis,
Pero si trae guarachis,
he's cool as fuck.
he's cool. Just because of that.
Es raza, el güey.
Es raza.
Stuff like that. Which I'm, like I say, I don't know, like I say, in pictures, to mention when I see stuff, like say, like Fuerza Regida, like guys, obviously
Times change now.
he's wearing Gucci and all this stuff, right? But in the recent videos, all of a sudden since I think he's from Michoacán, now all of a sudden I started seeing he's wearing huarachis. I don't know what they're called. I guess
Los Juan
like that.
Diego ones.
Yeah, the ones that are crossed. Why is that? Why all of a sudden? Why? Because somehow, like you say, now you're gonna start going to tour in Mexico, so you start to change that little wardrobe. Because even though, like, maybe in Sinaloa, your Gucci and all that stuff is cool, but if you go down Michoacán, Guerrero, ain't nobody.
No. How about the funny part is that they all start off paisa for marketing. They put on the tejana, they put on the wardrobe, whatever. You guys buy into that. You like them, you love them, you raise them up to the top, and then boom, now they're wearing this outfit, the Gucci clothes, and they stop being the paisa guy that you thought he was.
Yeah.
Like when they make fun of Nodal and the tattoos and this, he went from the mariachi singer love guy to this. It's like, well, duh.
That was him beforehand.
That
He
was
just
him
had to play the
beforehand.
role.
Yeah.
Everybody's playing a role for you guys, which goes back to the same thing. That's why just close your eyes. Do you like their music? Sometimes, like when they say, like sometimes you sometimes don't want to meet your idol because you might
Might get disappointed.
You might get
Disappointed
disappointed.
by who he is.
Yeah.
And I was
Which
very
might
disappointed. I was
might
very
happen after this
disappointed.
interview, right, with Macizo, right?
Right,
Obviously,
which
but-
could happen.
No.
No, I'm
Actually,
fucking enjoying
I'm,
the fucking
I'm
story.
yeah,
intrigued. I'm fucking
Gotta try.
overjoyed.
Is that what, like I say, unfortunately, we talked the business part because, well,
We learned
That's
it.
because
what
for the
it
same
is.
reason, we would like to see the same thing. For the grupos here in Chicago to be more, do more, for the same thing. We have the future generation that's probably going to join the band or keep going, or maybe they're going to like the music. We would like to start setting it up for, like you say, even doing our part.
Yeah.
So when they get there, teach them the knowledge. Hey, don't just relax because we did this and we did not. You still got to put in the work. Because after we're gone, our faces are not there anymore. They're not going to know who you are. Now you got to go and bust your ass if you want it. If not, then pull off to the side, you know?
Yeah, you
So
guys are
that-
just laying that foundation, like your parents did for you. Y pues como todo. I've always said, bro, in the pods, people would ask me like, why do you have a category Duranguense? And I just think that how the fuck am I not? O sea, honestly, the bands that have been here so far, and we plan on being here for a good amount of time, but everyone has something that I'm never gonna fucking know. I'm never gonna know any of fucking stadiums, let alone just quitting my job and quitting my family. I love where Raul said, like, hey, if you're willing to not have any friends and these guys will be here, I'll tell them, look around you. These are your friends, bro. That's it. Your fucking other friends, your cousins, your fucking... Be cool with your parents and your siblings, because that's about it and shit.
Yeah, no, like even that, like you say, even the show part, even when you go, if you're in a band, and the moment you start playing the salones, how many really of your fans or friends or family actually pay to see you?
Hey, you know,
just because they know you, hey, that's my cousin. I know he plays in a band, but I've never actually paid a ticket to go see my cousin.
Right.
I've never supported him and say he's gonna be at that. If I do, I go with him to get them for free. I don't go as a spectator and help out the cause and say, hey, man, why am I going to give my cousin money?
Yep.
But it's not necessarily that you're giving me the money. You're helping the scene that the promoter's going to see that people are actually playing to see me. Not that I'm paying my cousin. Like we had this conversation, the same thing. My friends, they don't show up when you play. I've never seen, like say, some family. I've never, 20 years we've been in the business, and they've never showed up to a gig.
Right.
Unless it's been a festival, and maybe once. But because they see you at a family party, but they don't see that your work requires for presence. Right. I need you to, not because, I'm going to give my cousin, lo voy a hacer más rico. No, it doesn't work like that.
Mm-hmm. And going back to the beginning when we didn't know the business, I admit, since I was the one taking the reins with the phone calls, and I was sometimes saying a price or what I thought we were worth, and they would say you're crazy or yes or no to that price. So I did it took me time to learn the musician standpoint and the promoter standpoint to balance out mindsets and what's fair, what's wrong. I think he could relate, like what my brother said about, you tell that band, whoever it is, cuánto por el set, and he tells you, pues yo quiero tanto, me lo das sí o no, and you tell him, pero, like when they say, right, pero las vas a jalar, si las vales, pues te lo pago.
Right.
They don't like hearing that. But then you get, you know what, it's kind of true though, because you are what you're worth. You know, if you're not bringing nobody's there to see you, you think it's just because you just asked for it. This is not a private party. A club is who you can pull, what audience is there to pay a ticket to go see you. And like he said, the funny part is that they're from, whether they're from here or whatever state we're at, right? You would think, pues, where's those friends? Where's those family members that always have your back? Now, I put you in that paquete. Can you bring at least 50 people to this event? Mete tu 50. Como quien dice, ahí está tu pago. Not even one person comes for them. You know, it's kind of messed up, but these are realities that sometimes you got to humble them also, that teach them the game also.
Yeah, to learn the business. Like you said, good or bad, si tocan música bien or mal, or what, obviously you're going to get better for yourself, right? You got to progress and get better as a group and sound good.
Yeah. Right.
But it's all business at the end. Like, I think he says you guys are musicians, no? Some of the guys that are here?
Yeah.
Most of them.
Shit, we're preaching to the choir.
Yeah.
We're preaching to the choir.
No, like you say, obviously, like you say, do put in the work, but it's also risk. Like, even that part, even to be able to reject offers that are bull offers or whatever we feel, we still have to figure out, get our money right so we have that leverage. So I'm going to say, if they have jobs, then if you're planning on something like risking, like say, hey, for the next 6 months, I'm going to save my cash. I'm not going to go out. So then if the band wants to travel, I can afford to travel. I can take that risk and see what that life is,
Yeah, there's a loss, you're kind of backed up.
Yeah, if you're, living paycheck to paycheck, like I say, most
the
people
fucking
do.
pandemic comes, you better be fucking ready.
So that's why most of them don't want to risk because, maybe they're, you're young, you want to party, your money's going, flying out the door. So when somebody says, hey, vamos a tocar, and then something goes bad, you already get, depressed or sad about the music business con esa one tocada that didn't go so good.
Yeah.
Nah, you know what? I'm take it as a fun joyride with my boys, but have your money right when you make that trip and don't go thinking about the money. Just think about the experience. Most of them going, es que... But not everybody in the band is in the same money situation. That's the bigger problem.
Sí, es que van, se van con la mentalidad, no, pues vamos a ganar un chingo de dinero ahorita, vamos a ir a viajar a California o a Florida y nos va a ir de la chingona y luego regresan y no les pagaron nada. Like, that shouldn't be the mentality you should be going. We're like, man, we're going to go to Florida. Whoever the hell shows up to this fucking dance, we got to figure out how the hell these motherfuckers are going to like us so that fucking next time we come,
Get their
they'll show
info,
up
their
again.
contact info.
If you're showing up, pues vamos a llegar. Nosotros llegamos de Chicago. Dejamos 20 horas para estar aquí. Nos tienen que pagar este dinero. Ya valieron madre. Para empezar. Yeah, you're already fucked. You're going with the wrong mentality. Your job is to we're going to a different state. That means we got to conquer a new audience. Yeah. That's the job.
The music business.
Not getting paid. The whole getting paid is after when you're actually somebody. Don't
mindset.
Think just because you got a couple songs or that you think that you're owed something. You're not there.
Because if
yet.
your mind, like I say, if
You're
your mindset's not right
audience.
and you're weak, you fall. I mean, any little bad thing situation, like even when the vehicle breaks down, that could be a deal breaker.
A setback.
Like hell no, we're in the freezing cold and we gotta wait for a tow truck in the middle of nowhere.
North Dakota.
I'm not going through
We
this
were
again.
fucking North Dakota in the fucking worst of places, bro. It happens. Everything
And
happens.
we've
And you just
gone
gotta be
through
ready
also
for it.
near-death experiences too. I'm telling you all that. I'm like I said, I respect the fellow musician, and nadie sabe lo que en verdad uno ha pasado y man, like I said, man, accidents.
Todo es una chinga. There's nothing easy. Even like you say, if you're playing here, 10 sets, it's still you got to go from one place to another.
Dude, I think I'm more scared playing the sets right here than when we go other places. Like right here, they make you do tripletes and you're going 100 miles per hour to get from one spot to the next spot for that chump change money that they're giving us, man. Like, you see? So,
yeah, we try to avoid those. But like obviously, it needs not even like you say. Sometimes you have to take them. But if there's a choice and conscious choice and the right choice, we try to avoid them.
And I say chump change on purpose.
Because
then
you
get
can't.
It wrong because it was our chump change. No. I just mean I'm like there's no money amount for the risk that we're taking, right? There's not an amount for. We know other colegas have passed away.
Trying to chase that.
Trying to chase or trying to go too fast to get to that event and all that. So sometimes you feel.
Van a subir a las 11:45 y luego nos bajaron a las pinches 11 del Álamo de Aurora. Tenemos que estar en Aragón a las 11 para... se pasan, es que no mames.
Hey, the worst part is that they don't even bother to set you a parking space in front of the salon knowing that you're the band that's going to play.
Yeah.
When they still tell you, hey, go find parking somewhere.
You can only unload. Make sure you got to move the van.
And move it.
And they forget that you got to at least set up like at least 15 minutes. They're like, no, tienen que subir, ya tóquenle. Okay, vamos a darle.
Everything's rough.
We're going to sound like shit, but all right, we'll do
Goes
it.
back to it's just more about business. Just act like you went up on stage, I cashed in, yo les cumplí.
They just want you to show up at the time, and they don't give a fuck how you sound.
You see them right, or whatever. So it counts. I keep the money. You can't ask for it back.
Yeah, they showed up, and I put them up on stage, so you can't. Like, even they sounded like shit because they fucking didn't even check sound, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Musician.
Like
I came to hear a couple years back, a little bit prior to the pandemic, a couple. The bands, I heard a couple of them kind of got on the same page. I wanted to put this out there because then I'm going to regret it. But the local bands, I heard a couple of them got in sync, basically saying, you know what, we're going to put our worth. When they call you, you say this price. And when they call us, we're going to stick to that same price. If you deserve more because probably you're doing something or you're in the moment, you could ask for a bit more, fine, but don't go lower than this price. I think that's a lesson that we should all apply if we want to see better times. If we keep with this whole the next guy, and the next phone call takes lesser and lesser to the point where they're only accepting a 24-pack of beer to play that set, we're never going to progress, man. I'm telling that to all whoever's watching right now, y'all keep that up. I'm old school. I'm going to tell y'all to your face. Y'all keep that up. That's why nothing's progressed. Y'all need to check yourselves. If y'all thought you were so smart, how come nothing's changed and we're in 2022 and we're still making the same amount for the same sets? You're not. I know what you're worth. Like I said, we know the business. And me, you. I don't know if you're in that, if you do deals, but we know. Mm-hmm. I'm no fool. I know your prices. But that's the proof in the pudding.
So you're okay with like the bands sharing the same price kind of thing?
From there, and whatever you're putting out, if you're busting your ass, you have a hit song or you're putting in more work, and
it's making it seem like there's a minimum wage to your music.
A minimum wage. There should be a minimum wage. I told him when we talked about, we're considered like in that movie The Warriors. If anybody's seen that old school movie The Warriors, we're like the orphans. We're the outsiders to everybody because probably we defend ourselves or we fight for our rights and we just don't give in. Like I repeat, either it's this way or step to the side and give us the door.
Because I think también you're devaluing your band and you're devaluing the music.
Devaluing both.
But at the same
Because
time,
at the
man,
moment,
like,
but they're not thinking ahead. At the moment,
Yeah.
they're okay with giving it for free or cheap.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
they're not realizing, man, if I pop off, you're not gonna get because you ruined it for your future self.
Exactly.
Future self, and then this is also what happens. As soon as you even say for that little extra price, oh, you changed your price? Goodbye. Let me call the next guy. The game's never changed. Don't they realize this? That it's never changed, man. Like I said, when we were Banda Caiman and we were the most demanded banda. I noticed. You know, I knew what Chuy was charging for that per set. Right. And it sounded nice to say, like I said, we have 10 sets. Triplete viernes, triplete sábado y domingo, whatever, y la privada. Man, that gets tiring. I used to tell Chuy, man, no, I don't give a damn. Like, we're be worth more, man. Demand more, or let's get out of here. Let's not keep competing with the other 20 techno bandas and every other band that we're not gonna move nowhere. You're not, and we never did. And that was 1990, and we're in 2022, and they're making less money. Yous are making less money,
It's not
man.
getting better.
It's not getting better.
Going
Demand
backwards.
more for yourself. Like you said, you just said that you put in work, that you practice, that you train, that you're a badass musician. Quit just believing that, well, I don't care. I'm taking all these sets away from these other bands and I'm making, I'm racking up, de mucho se junta, el total de un chingo de sets se junta a lot of money for me.
25 sets.
Man, bro. I think there needs to be an all-around Chicago one meeting like that Warriors. Like I said, that movie, going back to that thing where everybody talks one meeting and we say from this day forward, these are the categories. And this is your minimum wage. Minimum. Nadie se baje de este precio. Like un equipo de sonido. I bet they feel like shit. Or a DJ too. You're not going to tell me different because I get that too. Hey,
And then,
he's going to say, I got 20 years in the game and I actually know how to mix. You don't want to hear that guy say, well, pero cobras tanto este con el iPhone or whatever, iPod. Me va 100 bolas.
and then how would you control it, or how would you think, like, the not so good bands? Would they still get? Like, does everybody?
They're not worth it, right?
I mean,
Is
for
that-
me,
They're not worth
my only argument with that, and we've talked about this before, is like my.
No. Well, those just don't get hired. You also
You
have to
don't
put
put them
work.
in the clubs like
You don't
they
put 'em
did
in the
back in our
club.
day. If you weren't
Yeah,
the
but
hot
they're
band,
going to
you-
be charging whatever they're going to want.
No,
right?
they're not gonna get hired because if you think they suck, why would you call them? I'm saying like because
Well,
we're
no,
talking
but
about like in
now-
privadas and eventos in privadas. If they're not good,
I
then
think there's just too much demand, like for like in that aspect. In that, I mean, they're gonna get hired, bro.
It's
There's
definitely
millions
changed
of
because before it
paisas.
was it was just bailes, right? And now
Yeah.
it seems like they're playing every group has to have go into somebody's yarda, go into somebody's garage,
Well, not
go
even-
into somebody's
Sala.
party somewhere.
Well, not even that,
somewhere,
but, like,
right? So
now
they
you
need
have, like,
they
all
need
these-
music everywhere.
Now you
It's
have,
not,
yeah. I'm saying like you have like these mariscos places that now just build a stage.
Yeah,
and, like, we're
there's
gonna have every
bars
weekend.
and
There's
little
a-
clubs
They're gonna get hired
everywhere.
somehow.
and that's also proof in the pudding. Don't they see that as a coincidence? When in the history now everybody can have a little platform, a little stage, and they call you
can play now.
to go play there.
Or the accessibility of
Accessibility
getting a group.
of getting a group because you guys are right there. You guys are willing to jump on it, and like my brother says, I get it. I know sometimes somebody would say, "Well, shut up. You don't know what my needs are," or "Hey, I have to accept that," or "I need that." Maybe you don't need it, but I need it. But we need a level where we have a certain demand, man.
I mean, I understand that. I just think it's really, really tough because my interpretation of my hustle, in my point of view, might be more than yours. So I'm going to think, well, I'm worth more than you because I do this much more. Why are you charging the same as me? Like, I mean, I've had this conversation a couple of times, and it's just tough. It's like a union, right? Like, a union is a union. That's cool. But even in Chicago, there's just too much demand, bro.
Yeah,
because there's gonna be a guy that really needs it. That doesn't, and he's gonna be like, "Fuck it, give me $40 an hour. I'm gonna go. I need it. I need to eat." Like, and everyone's used to getting 100, 150. I mean,
It's
whoever
more
needs
of
it, it's gonna go get
it's
it.
more of that mentality of like the same thing. It's the same deal of saying, you know what? Here's $300. Take it or leave it. And at that time, it's like that person is either I get these 300 and I pay a bill or two, or have not have money and not have work and just stay home.
And
Not make money.
I want to
And
make it clear. I agree with you.
I agree
I
as
agree
well.
as far as like you got to know your worth.
Yeah.
I just
But-
think
but
that there's
at
a
the
lot of
same
fucking
time,
demand.
it's
though.
like there's a lot of demand.
But I was just clarifying that. But let's be clear. But that's why we are where we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a tough situation, though.
Yeah.
But you won't.
Yeah.
Like,
It's hard.
But it hasn't led to progress, though. No.
No,
that's
I
what
agree
I'm-
with
yeah.
No,
yeah.
no, right.
No, I agree too, because I'm saying like over the pandemic, I survived because as a graphic designer of the Cierreños, because they were playing in like everywhere, but fucking little backyard parties or whatever. Con tres guitarras, they were fucking dominating.
Yeah.
And they were still coming up to me when nobody was playing. The bigger groups, norteños or bandas, weren't playing. These Cierreños were just still popping off, and they were like, "Hey, I need."
They could
a
enter
new
themselves
picture.
anywhere.
Yeah, and like them saying, like I agree with my compadre. Like I agree with that side. I agree with my compadre was like, the demand is just too high here in Chicago
To keep it unionized.
to keep it.
well, the thing, like say, our mentality, our mindset is, if we can help somebody, we are that man. We're willing to help.
Yep.
If you want to travel, like you say, these guys, if all of a sudden, hey, you know what, we're down. Take us with you wherever.
Right.
Cool.
We've always been
Yeah.
that way. Also,
No,
to
and
be-
you've
we've
called
always
me.
been that way.
He's called me and he's asked
Anybody
me,
who
"Hey,
doesn't know-
norteño?" I just tell him, look, it's really tough because nowadays, a lot of the bands, the price went up a little bit, so they're gonna say the same thing. I like the way you put it earlier, like they don't want to drive the fucking hour and a half, 2 hours, because now they want to. They demand like $4 or $5 grand for that set, because it's 3 hours away. They don't, but they don't understand the other side, the side that you're saying, right? You're gonna go, you're gonna open a door, you're gonna try to get new people that are not just here and shit.
Yeah, but that's why you have to single them out and see who actually wants
Yeah.
that life,
Yep.
and not the guy who's just that would be the part. Like, hey,
They want
don't
the
show me the guys
guaranteed
that's just
money.
doing it for hang out on the weekends and, like you say, stay as their extra income or part time.
Right.
Bring me the guys or the band that wants to be somebody in the music business. That's the difference. Like you say, obviously we want to leave a name in the business. If not, like you say, we could just right away hey, we're not traveling no more. Let's start hitting the parties and let's start staying local.
Yeah, we could easily become local too.
Yeah.
You don't think that there's days that, hey, let's just drop our set price. We know what the market value is, and let's just stay here. Done
And
deal.
the other side of it is, even the part that nobody that, like you say, you don't see is the musicians that think that, well, back in the day, or that's all you have to live off of. Now in these days, like you say, if you know graphic design, you can do that on the road and still try to do that. If you can sell T-shirts online, if that's what you want to do and try the music, there's millions of ways to keep making money.
Side hustle.
Now, like you say, even in our part, like you say, we do, I do, or at least me, or things that bring in cash that not necessarily is the music.
Right.
Because the same reason, like that, it gives us a hand up. So when something's not right, hey, don't take it. We're not in the need to take it.
Right.
So then that lets us have, like you say, keep our price at a certain range, because there's just things we're not going to accept, because if you start dropping it, then they start dropping it.
Yeah.
But then that goes to the locals or the grupos que de aquí no salen o quieren salir. Find stream of income, so then when those choices come, you're like, cool, let's do this.
you don't feel the hit as hard.
Yeah,
It doesn't
you're not,
hit.
and they'll give you, like I say, get the experience, the taste of it, and see, is it for you or is not for you? And it's okay. Like I say, some people are not meant for this life. It's not for everybody. We've had musicians, and majority of drummers, they've been paid their due. Like he says, we already went through the money situation with our people, so we know what it feels like. So Mazizo, we don't have a salaried guy. He has a minimum, but if more comes in, then you get more.
Okay.
That's how it's always been with us. You're not like, oh, this is it. No matter what happens, 30,000 people, this is what you want to know. If 30,000 people come in, then your paycheck is going to be a lot different. But you'll never go under a certain amount. That's how we've kept it. And the guys, like you say, in and out, they've left it because, oh, my wife, or I got married, or I got a girlfriend that doesn't let me go out anymore. And blah, blah, blah. It's always been that situation, never for money situations. But like I said, the bands that are in Chicago, or anybody that wants to do something, you have to go out. Yeah. You have to try it, and somehow, like you say, use 10 sets that you make, or the good weekend, bad weekend. If you make a good weekend, book a whole weekend in Chicago, and then the next one, go outside.
Yeah. And this is not
if
even...
it doesn't work, then come back.
And this is not even talking about, I think, también, like, recording music. Which is a big thing también.
Yeah.
Like, some of these some of these bands just record like a live thing or something. It's like maybe not even a studio. I know it's different times, but they're not even investing in that too. También I see like
because if there's one leader, like say you don't want to invest in a group where the guy might quit on you the next weekend.
exactly.
That's why the bands
fear.
also don't invest in certain things. Like maybe a picture. Like you said, they
Wardrobes
might
and
come
all
and
that.
take a
Yeah,
picture.
of course.
Wardrobes. They can't
Because,
invest in
hey,
wardrobes.
yeah, stuff
They
like
don't
that.
invest in
But
it.
Yeah.
but I mean, nobody wants to invest because unfortunately now you don't have loyal musicians like you did back in our days that will last through thick and thin. So you can take that picture and know it's gonna last you a year, 2 years, un traje a year or 2 years. Now it's like, hey, everybody go in your clothes because if we invest in a taco and that guy quits, then we either gotta go get a new saco or mandarlo bordar nuevo. And so I'm guessing that's the mentality. Like, hey, well, nobody puts any money. Even the guy that's taking the phone calls, he's not gonna do this because maybe he's doubtful. Man, that guy's maybe he ain't gonna last, or maybe that guy's not gonna cut it. Pero por ahorita con que saque la tocada is cool. So that's you can't push a group and you don't even have the confidence to say, man, my guy's got me. If I say we going, I don't have to worry. Like even him, his decision, he knows. Hey, obviously we're brothers, so any decision he makes, it goes. Why? Because we're thinking. Well, obviously we're family, so I don't think any decision he makes, he's gonna make it trying to screw up the band. You know.
Right.
So we don't even have he doesn't have to ask unless it's completely something totally out of line. Hey, you know what? They offered this, blah blah blah. No, all right, no. But I mean, that would be like any manager in any group. You can't invest in a project if you're doubtful of the guys behind you.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's throw money gone to waste.
Wasted, yeah.
So that's why también no hay progreso. So like you say, even recording a live, it still costs money.
Yeah.
You got to pay the camera. You got to pay the sound people $1,000, $2,000. Where are you going to get it from? Unless the musicians, and even then, they're not willing to give up their part because like, well, it's not my band.
Right.
I mean, págame por tocar, and that's cool. Whatever you want to do, it has to come out of your own pocket. So it's, it makes it harder. It's harder. You got to, even though there's easier times, just flip on the camera, but, production got to get a little bit better every single time, so.
So then, bro, how many years have you guys been independent then now?
I think it's 11 years.
11 years.
Yeah, since 2011. So 2022.
We've been longer independent than we were in the company.
In the contract,
Yeah,
right?
in the contract.
Fuck.
So we put in work. We've been able to survive, like you say, based on this hustle and making those phone calls
bro.
nonstop. Obviously, that's what it requires because if the call's not coming in, then you got to make the call. Right. If you want to work.
Yeah.
If you don't want to work, then just put it on silent and don't worry about it.
But like I said, we realized like early on when we were with the market crash, we realized that that's it. Investors disappeared. You caught on to that real fast. Nobody was gambling away their money. So you did have to create opportunity, and you had to be the one on the phone call. You got to call the clubs now, or whoever receives your call, but get me in, get me work, or I'm willing to do whatever I got to do. It's not what you want to do, but you have to do.
Yeah, and show them, like you say, the same thing. You get in the first time, you got to make the call. Then they see you and see, okay, hey, the band's pretty good. They pulled in people. So next time they got an empty spot, they'll make the call. Hey, you know what, guys? I saw you guys came last time.
Yeah.
Let's do it again. So that's one phone call less that you have to make, That's how it works. Unfortunately, you got to first put in the work, so then later on the calls come in themselves.
Yeah.
And then do you guys have anything special or anything that you guys can share as far as like next year, 20 year or anything like that?
Well, obviously, where we were at with talking about the social media and the TikToks and all that, obviously we made a decision to get back. We got I guess like everybody else, we got a little bit more motivated again with music, and we started pumping out songs after songs, and we're working on new music that we're gonna be putting out pretty soon, probably in September, October. We're gonna be working on a CD of a hits album.
Okay.
People have been asking since that was another issue that we went through. When we lost our name, we had all of our music taken down.
I was gonna say
from
that.
zero.
Like the Masters, fucking.
Yeah,
they obviously had them.
Everything was taken down completely.
Wow.
Now it's back up, but I don't know if
We've had so many
something
bumps.
happened there, or because they saw the traction that the group once again was coming back up.
Yeah.
So
And
they're
it-
like
Obviously,
streaming.
it's still going to them though.
Yeah, it's still going. But
Financial.
that's what's coming. The recording we re-recorded most of the hits for the same reason. Now obviously people still like the original, but it's still going to be an option for them to listen and stream
Right.
our version now that obviously belongs to us. the masters or stuff like that.
So we're working on about 3-4 different projects right now that for people to have. We want to pump out a lot of music. We've been working a lot every chance that we get. We're gonna have a CD coming out for people to check out pretty soon. It'll be called, el título del disco se va a llamar Sin Límites, para que lo esperen. We're gonna take a gamble with what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a couple of songs that typical Duranguense, but we're gonna intertwine now that we got the young bucks, the young kids with us. We're gonna start fusionando like I guess if what you want to call like the new style of music.
Old ideas with modern.
Modern
Like you said,
modern
obviously
twist.
you following on TikTok, he sees
Yeah.
some corrido tumbao type stuff with Duranguense, and obviously we're not gonna lose what Mazizo is.
Yeah.
But we because that's always been our focus. We've never stuck to like one thing. We have music. We got corridos, we got cumbias, we got polkas, we got everything that a group can put a show for the people, no matter age-wise, older, younger. That's why also it's worked out for us because we don't, and even the sets, a lot of bands, the bigger you are, you go in with your game plan already, a set. So whether it's, the people are enjoying it or not enjoying it, you're stuck in your ways. We don't. We go as the flow, with the flow. And because you don't know what kind of crowd is going to show up.
Yep.
So if you look at the crowd or even that, like you say, we show up beforehand. So if there's a group playing or the DJ, based on the music that's playing before we play,
You get a feel for it.
that's going to dictate part of our show or our set because, well, if they don't like corridos, like you say, East Coast, a lot of people don't like corridos.
Yeah.
So we can't go thinking, hey, we're playing Perico y Perico, Caspa. No, it doesn't work over here. We might give them one. And that's only if somebody asks for it or just somewhere in there we throw it in there because they're drinking. You know. But if not, it stays out the set. You also got to see the crowd, play.
You got to read it.
Yeah. Most bands, obviously, their set is their set, good or bad. Si hay ambiente, no hay ambiente. Well, we don't do that.
And that's due out in the fall?
Yeah, this fall, if everything goes to plan, and like I said, that's going to be pretty interesting. I'm pretty happy with what these song selections have been. I repeat, it's going to be called Sin Límites, also just like the title. That's the whole point, Sin Límites. We never had boundaries in Mazizo. We've always been open-minded with all types of music, and we always like to play around. We take risks. We always have para todos gustos, en buen plan. Like they say, si somos la diferencia en la música duranguense. So este disco se va a titular Sin Límites. Terminando ese disco, we're going to go on to el disco de éxitos. We're going to be making music videos to all those hit songs that once we never got around to making actual music videos to that people always wanted to see. So prepare for el disco de éxitos. Then we have one of disco de puras rancheras, old school llegadoras para la gente pues, de nuestros tiempos también que les gustó las canciones
Later on, we're going
rancherotas.
to go in reggaeton or something.
Yeah.
With the big houses
I want
and
to
the
do an all
Lamborghinis.
English album too, because
Really?
I've always wanted
Nah,
to do
it's not gonna happen.
but I don't think they're on board.
it's not gonna
I think I'll do my own English version
He's gonna
for
go solo
TikTok
for that one.
for puro TikTok. pero-
No, but for the same reason, like I say, obviously, antes, in our times, if you tried something different or new, hey, that's not true.
Right.
Don't do that shit. Now it's okay.
Yeah.
But they start off like that. Luego, a la primera, una con banda, una con norteño, una con tololoche. So they, right away, abarcan todo. So then you're not one specific genre. Which is now the new way of doing things because para que puedas abarcar todo.
acostumbras.
But on our way, if right now we were to do something like that, no, es que ustedes son
Durangue.
this.
Eso no se escucha.
And maybe that's also been holding the bands back in our compañeros and our thing because nobody has done nothing different. And so right now, our music, like you say, our little pieces of TikTok has been what's been working because it's been songs,
It's different.
Yeah.
new stuff.
Yeah.
And that's how I told him to do. Hey, wait, if all we did was always turn something really old into Duranguense, why don't we just turn the new stuff and see what happens? And that was the click right there on TikTok. We did the few songs, obviously for likes, right? They're searching the song, so it's a lot easier to search if they search, a certain song and it's hot. But you got to jump on it quick. You can't sometimes, if you let the time pass, then it's too late. So, but that's what's been working. Like say the new sad cub music or whatever they call it, and
Sad boy. Hell yeah.
yeah, sad boy music. But the letra, obviously, our style or that. Maybe we might find somebody that might like it.
Yeah.
We don't know. Like, and Lil Wayne said, you don't lose any fans. You might gain somebody.
There you go.
Nobody's going to stop listening just because you do a bad song. They might just not listen to that song. But you can always get somebody if somebody happens
But
to
that's
like
also what I love about music. That's why I don't understand why other groups or bandas, to not name names, it does bother me that they are so talented, and I already know I'm going to hear the same exact damn thing every corte. It's a great song. It is a hit. I forward it because you don't give me nothing different, no risk. That's how I am with music. We play around with music. We stay in our pocket because we have our sound already, but we do variety. Anybody who knows that we always, like I said, we did this song, Nadie va a pensar en ti mejor que yo, that went viral, and then we went to El Zapateado, then we went to this song called Tu, then we went to Pepas, and you're like, ho, exactly. That's we like taking those chances and risking because there's audience for everybody. And maybe this one's not for you. All right, the next one. Next one. That's what we actually want, though. All right, this one's not for you. You're gonna critique it. Like, we get it. Move on. But we do the same thing. You might bust out a song. Your band. I hear it. I'm like, I kind of don't like that one. Then you do the next one. I'm like, that's a jam they just did. And there you go. So, I mean, with music, I would say always take chances, play around with it.
And that's the time with social media. Now, todo el mundo está grabando canción tras canción, repertorio. A shitload of songs. Hundreds, because I guess that's the streaming way of now.
Yeah.
Because nobody buys CDs. Before you bought a CD, you put it in. You have to listen to the 10, or at least you would always go to the main one, right?
Yep.
Now you have to beat out all the musicians to get on that playlist. Now it's about playlists. So in order for you to get on a playlist, you got to have a shitload of songs or more, at least more than that band. So maybe 2 of yours shows up on that playlist.
Es como tirando
'Cause if
100
not-
chicles, throwing them up,
Yeah.
and which one's going to
So that's
stick.
why if you see all these artists, like you say, every single day, cada dos días, cada semana, there's a song out. Whether it's, like you say, live version, because maybe it's a little bit faster.
Yeah.
You still got to put in the work, but it's a little bit faster to boom. And now you do that basic, so if it works out, then you start investing in that song. Now you have a means of, like our TikToks, they're 15 seconds, but if the thing hits 1 million views, that's the song.
Yeah.
Because there's other songs that don't do the same or not the same, traction or comments.
Yeah.
Like, you don't waste your time on that. Hey, that's not the song. Move on to the next one and move on to the... So the people are now deciding or pretty much giving you what they want.
They're letting you know.
Yeah, they're letting you know. So there's
Pero,
not...
pero siempre hay alguien, esa es la, tóquenla con trombón, tóquenla con saxophone. It's just a TikTok, relax. There's time to mess with it. But also a song could be made in many versions,
Yeah.
You could always play around with the music, but yeah, our platforms have been growing. The audience has been responding. The events have been going pretty damn good. All in all, like we just explained, we're just humble people who love doing our music, and the people who follow us, man, we enjoy doing music for them. That's really what it's all about for us, man. What we've done and the history and the legacy that we're leaving behind when we say goodbye here, but that's what matters more to us, man, for real. Just the music, man. Just the music.
Whoever cares about us is all that matters at the end of the day, man. It's like you can't try to have everybody love you. It's like whoever loves you, that's all. That's where you want to stay with,
Yeah.
The people that remember you, like, you don't know who you're affecting. Sometimes people come with you with stories and like, hey, your story, that this song was the one that me and my girlfriend with. We get that like on the videos that we have on YouTube. Oh, con esta canción conquisté a mi mujer. Or when they come to us in their thing, like, hey, con mi morra. Like, oh, you have no idea. And then they come and they tell you like, hey, well, that's how you made a place in this world,
It's an accomplishment for you
that's
guys.
what you did. So at the end of the day, that's it. Everything else, all that other noise doesn't matter, man. It's just we're just here
we want to
do our
leave the
thing, that's
business
it.
on our terms. We don't want to get kicked out or thrown out on their way,
They've tried, but we're still here.
But that's the but at the end of it, that's honestly that's the goal. Obviously, one day we're gonna retire or stop this, but it's gonna be that we stood our ground, and it's because okay, you know what, it's time to go.
Hey, like I
Not
said,
because
it's an
they-
accomplishment in itself, man.
They
Like I
screwed
said,
you over so
11
much
years.
that you have no choice but to not just quit. That would be more devastating.
After the 19 years, aprovechando, this is obviously going to be on YouTube, and it's going to hopefully be there forever. Anyone that you guys want to shout out, thank, your career, it's fucking amazing, way. and we only got a fraction of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, do you guys
Yeah,
want to shout anybody out?
Sorry if it got kind of boring and everybody,
no,
but we
no,
obviously we're spitting the business. Obviously,
Hell
the
yeah.
part of the knowledge that we
no.
pick up, because the music part. I mean, that's the easy part.
Right.
Everybody knows how to play music. They like it. They can jam. They can do that. It's the business part that makes it difficult
Yeah.
That-
for everybody.
I honestly, bro, I really enjoyed it. I had told Ricardo a real side story, bro. It's like he had told me, like, hey, you know what? I don't know how long it's gonna be. He told me, like, look, it's just a fucking plática. It could go we can go for another 2 fucking hours, I'm sure. But I enjoyed it, and that's why we love doing these long talks, bro. Because we're never gonna get this shit in an hour. You know, we're never gonna get all this fucking knowledge.
Yeah, and then you get stuck on one topic and they go deep. But
And then we want to go, we go deep, or we just fuck around with other topics. But this was fucking badass way. I mean,
Hell yeah.
my respect.
like
Everything.
say,
you
20
guys been
years
doing.
as Mazizo.
Yeah.
Obviously, the years before that, like I say, we keep doing music. Obviously, it requires a lot more work. We need to put in a lot more work. And maybe that's also part of, like you say, building a team. Unfortunately, that we don't have that big team that supports us behind us. It's only what we can do.
Yeah.
So that difficult things a little bit. But we're, like you say, still grinding little by little. Sometimes a veces hay ganas, a veces no hay ganas. But, you know, trying to stay
Motivated.
it's somewhere
man.
in there. Like I say, compared to a lot of bands in our circle, we're still putting a lot more music out than they are, more videos. So we're putting in the work. It's just a matter of waiting and see if it all pays back. You know, pays off.
What's paying off? It looks like, bro.
Yeah, well, so I mean, we lived the dream at the end of the day, and I think that
Congrats,
that
man.
we're happy with that. Whatever happens, you know, you'd be like, oh, ya están fuera de moda. When they say shit like that, it's like, yeah, but hey, at the end of the day, we were a moda.
What did they say?
We were
Sometimes-
something.
Hey,
Yeah.
we might be
That doesn't
has-beens,
matter.
but some people were never was, right?
Never was. If you didn't fucking,
Damn right.
if you, what did Drake say? If you ain't got to witness, at least you got to witness, bitches. So yeah, so I mean,
And like
we
Kevin
did
Durant
it.
said, you know who we are. You know who we are. You know who I am.
No, thankfully we've been able to live the dream. We didn't see it coming when it happened, but it happened and we did it. We toured all United States and Mexico. We've done it. We've done the things that people, when they start out being musicians, they say that they set out to do.
Yeah.
We were fortunate to do that. We played in the Estadio Azteca, fucking 110,000 people twice. Like,
And
I
the
mean,
second
doesn't-
time, the most demanded band, just to check that.
We did it.
were
We
asked
played
to
in
be the
those
To
top
check
one.
facts, huh?
No, so I mean, at the end of the day, we go with that. Whatever happens, nobody lasts for the longest. I mean, you only you have your pockets of time, and it's on to the next band, not the next. But at the end of the day, we were that band at that time. So we're happy with that, and we're still here. 20 years later, we're still doing it. We're still, we're still living the ups and downs of the business, but we're figuring it out as we go. But we're extremely happy with what we've been able to do and the music that we were put out, the things that we were going to be remembered for. At the end of the day, we're happy because we know that when we laid those songs down, there were our ideas. There were our songs that we picked. This is the way we wanted to play them. So this is how you're going to remember it, as opposed to like somebody else, a studio musician said, oh, well, here you go, just record this, and then that'll make you. Because we've also heard stories of people like there were artists that they didn't want to be until they became artists that they wanted to be afterwards. So they were pushed in different directions.
Yeah.
And we did it from the get-go. We chose our songs. We picked our songs. We became famous because of the things that we said.
Frank
This is gonna
Sinatra, we
work.
did it our way, man.
Oh, yeah.
Our way.
Oh,
To
yeah.
this
At the
day,
end, they
from
were
the
happy.
wardrobe to the songs to everything that you see about us, it's all been us. All been us. There's no fake in what you see. On and off the stage, you gonna get the same person. You're gonna get the same person. And as far as, once again, who we're gonna thank, first thank you guys for the time. CasaHumilde,
Yeah.
the best of the
Aquí
best.
Oh, he's a big drinker over here.
Mira, la curva.
Curva Picosa.
That's a shout out.
Yeah.
No alcohol, but
You guys like that no
yeah,
alcohol,
it's
bro?
good. If it's for sale, I'll take some right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The mango, I'll take some.
Shout out to our parents who instilled the music in us. First of all, the family, the friends, all the band members that at one point formed part of Mazizo. We don't forget about you guys, though, because they're important pieces that kept us going at a time when we had to make the switch to the All-Stars and things were looking drastic. People had to come and play to keep this boat going. And we appreciate those guys. To the band members that are still here, from nuestro compa Gio, representing
Shout out.
Guerrero.
Shout out.
which is exactly another reason why we've always represented North and South. Durango, bueno, Norte y Tierra Caliente.
And the
Más
drummer,
que
like
nada.
a little quick story on the drummer because I like making fun of him.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and Gio.
Last story.
Obviously,
That guy used to make me laugh on Facebook, man.
yeah,
Used to.
he used to.
Used to.
He's
Until
a
something
different
happened.
person now.
I heard.
But yeah, like I say, obviously him when he joined the band, well, he knows he wasn't the first choice. So well, that's why we make fun of him because he knew he wasn't the first choice. We picked somebody else, right? But then that guy said, "Okay, cool." Then a week later, he said, "You know what? I got a better job, a good job. I can't make it." So then we contacted Gio. But he says, his story was that he obviously he's not here to tell it, but he goes, "Man, the only reason I went to try out is because I wanted to meet you guys. I just wanted to meet you guys and take a picture." And I said, "You were a little groupie and you still, making fun of him." But obviously, but we always bullshit with him, because he was the same guy that helped out the other guys when we went, and we went our own way. So first he was riding on that boat with those guys for a while.
Yeah.
And I think he was sometimes talking smack on Facebook or MySpace.
Fucking Gio,
Then later
man.
on, he hopped on this way. But he's a cool guy. He's been loyal for the last 8 years. I think he's going on 8 years.
A lot of people chose the side that thought was convenient or money wise convenient. We know who they are. Funny how times flipped and con el tiempo the truth was told.
Right.
Yeah.
Who was telling the truth? Like I said, we're still here. That's all the truth you need. But I repeat, we appreciate the whole family who has always supported us, the true loyal friends that we've come across along the way, the fellow colegas que también andan en este negocio that we respect. Like we just said, anybody who's out there in the grind, we respect you. Keep doing what you're doing because we love music. We love hearing everybody's music. It inspires us. We get motivated even, like it says, little friendly competition, but we get motivated. We see what you do. We want to do the same or better. But the winner is the audience at the end. So we're happy. Right. And to the new band members that we have now, Ricardito, Noah, and Compa Gio, Mazizo, we'll keep going to the audience says, and hopefully con tal de que haya salud y ganas, aquí estaremos echándole ganas, and keep following us en nuestras redes sociales, donde nos pueden encontrar, compa Raúl.
Facebook, like us, Mazizo Musical, YouTube, Mazizo Musical, Instagram, @Mazizo Musical, TikTok @Mazizo Musical 1. And to all the people, we're just here in Chicago. We played here on Saturday. And, I mean, it was a great show. Everybody came out. I mean, the previous one before that, we played also right there in another part of Chicago, Milwaukee. I mean, so far the shows have been great. The people still coming out, and we're appreciative. Que siga así, que siga siempre la gente apoyando nuestra música. I mean, whoever wants to see us and watch us play, sing us those songs. I mean, even though we've been playing it for 19 years, Platicando a Solas, Quiero Ser, Loco por Ti, all those songs, we've been playing them, aunque nos aburran a nosotros, pero we're definitely willing to play those songs anytime you guys ask from esas canciones. Si ustedes le hicieron en su historia de cuando nos escucharon en el 2003 hasta el presente, estamos contentos de tocárselas cuando las quieran tocar sin problemas, sin nada. Ustedes díganos sus historias, nosotros las tocamos con gusto.
Badass.
Yeah, no,
we're
sí,
going to add all your links too, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. No, pues igual, gracias de parte de mía, obviously, Aguacate, aquí, GuacPod, la CasaHumilde, your sponsors acá. Oh, shit. El que me sirvió aquí, la curva, ahí se la recomendamos ahí de parte de Mazizo, compadre, que ahí lo patrocinen y lo compren ahí si lo encuentran por eso en tienda favorita. A toda la raza que ve aquí el GuacPod, saluditos de parte de sus amigos de Mazizo. A todos los colegas músicos, los que están aquí acompañándonos aquí, que aguantaron la sección, ándale, que aguantaron aquí la plática de Mazizo. Hopefully we didn't bore you guys, but it was business talk. At least a little knowledge on the business and what we suffer.
Yeah.
And for the future, any band in Chicago, obviously we support everybody. We hope that everybody will put in the work. If they feel like this is for them, put in the work. Find the right guys that are willing, that want the same thing you want. If you just want to be here, stay home, that's also cool.
Yeah.
That's se vale a todo mundo has different needs and different wants in life. The music being somebody maybe not one of their priorities, right? That's fine. But like you say, do hustle, put in the work. And anybody wants to travel, like I say, give us a call, give them a call. We might get you in somewhere.
That's another thing. Anybody who might want advice or help, hey, give us a call, man. That's something that we're about also, man. That's what we have. We're always willing to give back or help.
If you want to give it a try.
Yeah, man.
Hay que darle.
Yeah, man. And finalmente a nuestro Durango que nos vio nacer, toda la raza de México que siempre nos ha apoyado. un día, si Dios quiere, regresaremos con todos ustedes.
Badass.
Hell yeah.
Mi compa Jesse.
I'm intrigued. My mind is blown. Actually, it's just I'm happy to see you guys. Like, I'm so humble. What we were talking about before, antes que entráramos aquí. It's more like holy shit. Like,
Yeah, maybe Rick got a little passionate.
no, but it was
cool.
just it was more of a sense of like my mouth was open, like my jaw dropped. It was just like, no, mames, I get the fuck out of
No,
here.
like you say, obviously you guys been in the game. You guys played a lot of,
We've been in
Real.
a business, but in my
Viejones.
mind, my dots are connecting. You're like, oh shit, that happened when I was doing this, and holy shit. So my dot, like, that's why I was a little bit more quiet because it was like, fuck. But you three literally gave me a class.
Yeah, is that we're
business.
like say we're not alone in this. If you're in the
Right.
business, like say a lot of times when you bump into musicians, usually that's aside like us, at least with us, that's the kind of conversation we have. Since we're not drinkers,
Right.
So when we see bands backstage somewhere, this is pretty much like our
The
conversations.
conversation.
Trying to get how your life is going, how your music scene is.
Yeah.
Maybe you can give us some kind of knowledge. If you're on top of us, we can give some knowledge to somebody that's under us. Always trying to learn something about the business that we're in to better ourselves.
Yeah.
So the same thing. If you're a DJ and you guys are doing the business, hey, you want to travel? Hey, they need a DJ out here.
Right.
This is the way it works. Come on, you want to try it? Hey, better off.
It's slightly different, but it's the same game though. It's
Yeah,
the same
yeah.
game. But you know what? Honored to have this talk with you guys. Mind blown. I just applaud you guys, man. Standing ovation to you guys because no mames, it's shit for it being season 5 and opener was just really it gets better and better and better con las pláticas with just talking to you guys, and I totally appreciate you guys putting it out there porque no mucha gente they ain't gonna show their cards. They're not gonna show their cards.
Yeah, everybody's always thinking what they might lose.
Like I want to one up you. And you just pretty much. I don't want to say expose the business, but you just said it how it is. Y agradezco eso mucho de su parte porque it takes a lot of balls to do that. And then at the same time para decir, háblenos y les damos consejos. It takes a lot for somebody.
Yeah,
to
not
do.
only consejos, like the same thing. Obviously, like you say,
Or
he's
just-
put in the work where he
Right.
has, somewhat connections.
Yeah.
So, in
If you
clubs,
wanna
maybe
work.
we play, or even if we don't play there, somebody might want to, hey, you know what? Is it possible we want to try? We want to see what that life is like.
Claro.
Obviously Mazizo or whatever we can be called.
Apreciamos.
Yeah, because we're obviously it's what is it? What is it?
Costumbre?
No. What, man? Even my Spanglish is already something. Well, obviously our criticism about everything in the business or even the bands and all that, obviously it's not to offend anybody.
Right.
We're just trying to obviously help. Anything we say was, towards helping and trying to open up their eyes of what the business is out in the real world, which we're out in that. Not,
that's
it might
the
be the
life.
same here, but obviously out there is a little bit different.
Yeah.
So which maybe they don't know. We try to shed light on that. stuff,
100%.
Se les agradece.
And let me just add before I forget, like I told you over the phone, regardless, this is the same thing. I give you guys credit. This is just another example. You guys are doing the GuacPod. Probably other people say it's trash. Probably other people say it's what negative things. But you do it then. The point is, you guys are doing your thing. You guys are taking risks. You guys are trying to make this happen, man. So those are the things that I support. Anybody who's trying to make things happen for good or bad, you guys are trying to do your thing, man. And I support that.
Thank you, bro.
And keep doing your thing,
Gracias,
man.
gracias.
Appreciate
I
that.
say we watch them. Well, at least I watch them. I know for 100% sure I watch them. Like I say, for the same reason, the music, everything you guys are, the scene, because we're not in the local scene.
Yeah.
But like I say, I watch it because you guys interview bands that are here that we don't know.
Right.
And maybe one day, like say, hey, that guy or these guys or blah, 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 to him, like you say, I mention, hey,
Right.
he says we need a norteño, blah, blah, blah. Okay, you know what? I saw these people. I saw these guys.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
It's helping out the cause.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
At
Thank
least to
you.
be updated here. With
Yeah,
everyone
and
that's
everything.
going on.
Not only here, like you say, in general, like you say, here and then the people on top of we got to see up and we got to sit down, everywhere.
Yep.
The vision has to be 360 everywhere.
Yeah.
Compa Fred, ¿cómo vio?
I this goes back to what I think when my compadre had this vision of the podcast was not to trash talk, not to do anything special. It was more to kind of educate. And this is like, to me, it was like a perfect example with you guys. Because you guys had like no holds barred as far as your opinions, and you guys lived it, like you said. Like you guys lived that part over a lot of musicians maybe now are not even close to living, as far as traveling and those really low points, those high points, and all the stuff in between. And for us, it was always about like kind of just educating. And it's like, for me, it's like, man, you guys are like the perfect example. And what a perfect way to kind of even just start this season, to have like, to me, it was like a great, story.
And also, thank you for the work you did with us back in the day.
Thank you guys for even
we don't forget also. I said, anybody who crosses our paths who is and somehow has lended a hand. Also, when you said about giving shout outs from anybody who's worked with music videos, photos, flyers. The first phone call that I made when we began as All Stars, and hey man, can you help me out? Which I don't forget who it was, but the point is, anybody who has lended a hand to keep this going, we thank you.
No, thank you guys for it, man. Even in looking at my way and thinking to help you guys with your photo shoots and everything, man. Thank you guys again for that also.
Bro, I mean, I think it was a great fucking season opener, bro.
Yeah.
I want to appreciate your transparency. Más que nada, porque not everyone's
Which is hard, yeah.
Yeah, not everyone's going to do it, bro.
Later on, after they watch it, we're going to see like,
we'll regret it after. Hey, can you like that part out real quick?
But finale, the real All Stars is our family members who put up with this
there you go.
and hold it down.
Of course.
Fuck, man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Cuidado, they're going to take it out of context or whatever. Snippets of all the shit that you guys said. So shout out to all the haters.
And well, that's the thing I told Ricardo, like, hey, we don't edit, bro. I mean, you know, va a salir como salió, you know, whatever. We're like at 3 hours, I think. But it was a fucking great 3 hours. I just appreciate your transparency. Y más que nada, oh shit, we're like close to 4 hours.
Closer to 4 hours.
Holy shit. No wonder they're falling asleep over here.
Closer to 4 hours.
Yeah, bro, we're like at 3:45. So my point is, I want to thank you guys, but I want to porque para mí es like I didn't know a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, uno nomás alcanza a ver hasta donde alcanza a ver y esto. For me, it was a fucking history lesson. It was a business lesson. I fucking always want to learn more than what it is, and you guys came in here and just said numbers and said stories and said this and said that and SOA in a podcast, I appreciate it because it doesn't happen often. Yeah. And respect, bro. My respects, 1,000%. Yeah. My props to you guys.
It becomes harder trying to answer every single Facebook message. Yeah. And then they repeat it. Let's just put it out there in these 4 hours, most of it.
Perfect.
Yeah, well, like I say, hopefully in our like say, to do the podcast and that's one of the things. Like say, people might take it the wrong way,
right?
When you say reality or the truth, you know. Dicen, como dicen, la verdad no duele pero incomoda or something like that. Yeah. No, I don't know exactly how I said, but
no, that's it.
But I mean, that's what it is. Sometimes we hesitate because maybe we don't express it the right way, but it's never with bad intention.
Right.
It's always to educate or help anybody, and if somebody knows more than us, then hey, we're all for it because we're here to learn because we want to keep growing and making sure when we hit a certain point, we're prepared for that scene also, you know?
That's kind of how I took it today, bro. Like people that you have to acknowledge people that know more than you. Mm-hmm. So for me, bro, it was perfect. Thank you. Thank you for opening up the season.
Thank you guys for inviting us and having us and being your season opener. So we appreciate everybody. Muchas gracias por escucharnos por tanto rato. Pero aquí estamos, Mazizo Musical, para echarle chingazos y echarle macizo.
Hell yeah. All the sponsors, check them out. They're all of our friends, too. All of our sponsors, no nomás son sponsors. They're all of our guys, friends, family. Así de que, thank you, guys. Ahí estamos. Subscribe.
God damn. El GuacPod. Este episodio está patrocinado por nuestros compas de CasaHumilde Cerveceria. Cerveza artesanal, elaborada aquí en Chicago, with a variety of 10 different styles to choose from. CasaHumilde is located at the District Brew Yards, 417 North Ashland in Chicago. Follow them on IG and like them on Facebook at CasaHumilde Cerveceria. To check availability near you, go to www.casahumildechicago.com and check out the store locator. You could also pick up some chelas at the district brew yards. CasaHumilde Cerveceria. Stay humilde. Este episodio está patrocinado por Tequila Tres Generaciones. At Tres Generaciones, we honor those driven to create something greater than themselves, those who have what it takes to leave a legacy. It's a tequila for the strivers, the hustlers, the champions of free will who create their destiny and don't await it. El proceso es único. It begins with fresh pressing agave, extrayendo el jugo antes que lo cocinen, resulting in reduced bitterness and a crisp agave-forward flavor. Todo el tequila es triple distilled, using 100% Blue Weber agaves. Con el tequila blanco, con el tequila reposado, it's certified organic. Aquí en el GuacPod, cuando hacemos un brindis, it has to be Tequila Tres Generaciones. Celebrate responsibly. 40% alcohol by volume. Copyright 2021 Sausa Tequila Import Company, Chicago, Illinois. This GuacPod episode is brought to you by Borjas Law Group. El abogado Borjas contestará todas tus preguntas, explicará el proceso específico de inmigración que aplica en su caso, el tiempo que se toma procesar su caso y los costos asociados con las tarifas de inmigración y los honorarios legales. Llama al 312-788-2783 para programar tu cita. Y ahí de pasada, menciona el GuacPod para que te den tu consulta gratis.
This episode is brought to you by Rancho Los Guzman. Hands down, one of the most beautiful rancho-style venues there is in the Chicagoland area. They offer all the necessary services so that your next event is unforgettable. From weddings, quinceañeras, VIP private events, and holiday corporate events. Relax and enjoy while they take care of every single detail. Book your next event at Rancho Los Guzman, 2225 Maple Road in Joliet. For more information, call 815-200-4713. Or check out their website at rancholosguzman.com. Cambiar es fácil. De hecho, lo hacemos todo el tiempo. Cambiamos de inglés a español y viceversa. Cambiamos de planes, de canal de televisión, incluso a veces cambiamos de pareja cuando bailamos. Cambiar es bueno. Y más ahora con todo lo que puedes ahorrar cambiándote a State Farm. Gessiel Gutierrez es agente de State Farm y está aquí al norte de Chicago, en Albany Park, para ayudarte a cambiar y a que empieces a ahorrar hoy. Gessiel y su equipo están listos para darte la bienvenida a State Farm. Con Gessiel Gutierrez es muy fácil cambiar y ahorrar. Marca su número hoy. Como un buen vecino, State Farm está ahí. La Curva Picosa, a handcrafted miche mix with fresh vegan ingredients, ready to stir into your favorite cerveza or mixed drink. You can also add it to your tequila and enjoy it palomazo. Try their delicious chamoy rim dip as well. Prueba la frescura. This episode is brought to you by Goodfellas Parlor, located at 5939 West 35th Street in Cicero. They are open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. To book your appointment, you can call 630-562-6652. Go check them out on Facebook at Goodfellas Parlor and follow them on Instagram at Goodfellas Parlor _EST.2017. Make sure you look good, fellas. This episode is brought to you by Taquerías Atotonilco. Con más de 40 años de experiencia, hoy por hoy de los mejores tacos al pastor en todo Chicago y suburbios. Al igual con los tacos de asada, ni más ni menos. Sus famosas tortas y para terminar con ganas, un rico licuado. Les encargamos sus 3 locales, 3916 al oeste de la 26 en Chicago, 500 East Cass Street en Joliet y 1631 al norte de la Manheim Road en Stone Park. Para más información visite www.taqueriasatotonilco.com.